Hello and welcome back to Organic Cardboard. My name is Owen Kniep, and today I am going to be playing Heroes of land, air, and sea. You can't see the air. There's the sea. I'll be playing Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea. This is a Scott Almes game. This came out several years ago now. It's been out for quite a while. He's had a couple expansions for it, as well as some little mini expansions and things. And this Kickstarter actually just came out recently for the latest kind of reprinting of the game. Now you could always buy this in retail as well, but they for some reason did a big Kickstarter, but they had a couple little extra kind of expansion content things, so maybe that's why they decided to do that. But this is Scott Almes's like not so tiny, still very epic game. So he's known for all of the tiny epic games, but in this particular one, he is more or less re-implementing a like RTS kind of style game. To me, it's the closest thing to Warcraft or Warcraft 3 or whatever, not World of Warcraft, but that kind of like RTS setup where you're going through the full 4X. You've got 4 different end game triggers that are going to be based around either exploration, expansion, or exploiting or exterminating your opponents. So I'm not going to go into a full rules teach of this game. I'm just doing a solo game. Be playing against a Automa opponent. But I'll explain things as I go, and I'm not. You may pick up quite a bit of the rules just from watching this video. I more or less want to just show how this game flows, and get a feel for how it works playing against the solo opponent. And I've played a couple games here recently, so I think I have the rules down pretty well at this point. But I'm sure I'm going to miss some. So please, if you notice anything, let me know in the comments. I'll really appreciate it, if nothing, just to clarify this video and make it make more sense. But for me too, it also really helps just to learn the rules. Sometimes you guys tell me some things that I was doing wrong forever, and it helps me a lot as well. So please let me know. But let's go over and take a look at the game state here. So this is our map here that we're going to be playing on. I am going to be playing the most vanilla level of this game, where I'm going to be playing the humans, and we're going to be playing against the orcs. And so this is very much Warcraft in the remaking here. So if this goes well, I may end up doing some other videos too, playing with some of the other factions. There's actually quite a bit of the expansion content that I haven't used yet. But we have the humans are starting over here. This is the starting capital city base level. It's going to go up 3 levels as we go. And then we have the orcs are going to be over here. We've got exploration tiles all over the place. These are the spell cards that we're going to keep in a pile off here, just because it makes sense with the way that this game can really sprawl. This is like most of my table holding this and trying to get the camera angles in here. I've got my human player board area over here. We've got the solo opponent's side. Each one of these has a front and back to it, so it'll have the solo opponent on one side. And then we have all of their kind of like Automa deck activations that they're going to be doing. The way this is going to play out is that the solo opponent's going to take a turn, and then I'll get a chance to take a turn, and then they'll take a turn. I'll get to take another turn, and then they'll take the final turn each round, and it'll do the same thing over and over. So they'll get to actually take 3 turns each time, but I'll get to follow, where they don't get to follow my actions. So as long as I have these little workers, they call them serfs, I'll be able to activate based off of what he's doing most of the time, not on every one of his cards, but on a lot of the big actions I'll be able to. So I'll start with 2 of each of these resources. I know a lot of the stuff on this video is going to be blurry because there's a lot of fine text, and I'm not going to be able to get that really clear. Hopefully after Christmas, maybe I'll have another camera and be able to zoom in a little better on some of this stuff. But I'll read these things off, and if you're not going to remember all this anyways. Even if you were reading it yourself, you'd have to have your board out in front of you. And so if you do play this on your own later on, you'll have all this information in front of you anyways. But yeah, I'll be starting with 2 of each resource. I'll be starting with 3, and then and we'll kind of dive into it from there. I've got heroes. I'll kind of maybe explain what they do as we go, but they have different levels that they'll hit based off of how far our capital city has been built up. So right now it's at level 1, so we'll get access to all of these bonuses down here, and then all of our heroes will have their level 1 abilities active until they get to level 2 in the capital city. So, and then last thing I'll say before we get started is I'll more or less be cutting out most of my thinking time. This game can certainly be prone for some AP moments as you're trying to strategize what you're doing. But I'll just cut it out to the good stuff. So with that said, let's see what this first turn is going to be. The solo opponent is going to go first here. And so we'll flip over one of these cards, and these are going to be associated with each of their heroes. So all of their heroes are already out. They're in their courtyard. This is what this space is here on the board. So more or less, they're going to be over and the same section as where the Capitol building's at. So you can kind of think of this space and this space over here being kind of like the same. So all of their heroes will start together, and they'll otherwise try to stay separated. So the first thing they're going to do is they're going to use a research. And what this is saying is that they're going to pay mana for the spells that they have. These spells will all be associated with, again, whatever specific hero is getting activated at this time. And then we'll go from there. So the first one that we're going into is the Chieftain, and the Chieftain's special ability is the Farmer's Plague. And it says an opposing serf within 2 regions of this hero is destroyed. Well, they don't have any serfs around there, but they do have enough mana to complete this. And so, again, this is part of how this solo opponent's a little quirky. You just play through their actions. They don't always make the most sense. But he is gonna go ahead and spend this too, because when he does that, even though I obviously don't have any serfs within 2 spaces away, each one of these colored spaces is considered a space, then nothing's gonna actually happen, but he is gonna gain 1 point from that. Now, I have the opportunity at this moment to follow that, and I haven't even drawn my first magic card yet, so my first card here is Grow. And so this does have a cast ability on it, and casts are cards that you can also scribe into this section over on the side of your player board. This is based off of your capital level. So I'm at level 1 right now. I could hold one like one scribe spell card, and that just means that I'll be able to have access to that card for the rest of the game. When I go to actually use it, I'll have to turn it upside down. It'll have like a 2-turn cooldown, basically 2-round cooldown before it comes back to being able to be used again. So I have the option to follow that research by, well, I could do the normal research action, which means that I would grab 3 cards and get to choose one to pick, but my hand size is only 1 right now. And then I could pick one of those and then just discard this one, the one that I started with, and whatever I drew. So this says that you select one region you control and immediately collect double the resources you would normally gain from it. That's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I don't know if I want to actually scribe it just yet, though, because I can't remove these once they're in this space, so they're kind of stuck there for the rest of the game. So I'm going to hang on to that for a moment, and maybe we'll come back to doing something with that, but otherwise we got to figure out what we want to do. And one of the first things I really like to do anytime I'm playing this game starting out is I like to get as many of these workers out as I can. And so there's 2 rates basically that we can construct these guys at. So they have all their resources costs listed down here. Again, I know this blurry on the cam because I can't make that top cam zoom. It's kind of doing everything right now. This is just a zoomed in section of it. But I will say that for all the factions are, I believe, are the same as this, where you can pay 1 food to recruit 1 serf, or you can pay 3 food to recruit 2, which is certainly a better deal, even though it's a little more expensive than recruiting twice. You don't have very many of these actions. Every time you take an action, you've got 2 of these command tokens, I guess is what they call these. I think they're command tokens, whatever they are. They're action selection tokens. And once you've covered a space, you can't use it again for the end of that till the end of that round. These actions I could follow off of him. This includes the research one that I didn't do. By following it, I would have to have another worker available, and I'd place it on its space just like I would that command action. But I'm not doing that right now. I'm doing a regular turn. And so I've got 2 of every resource to start off with. But one of the things I can do is I can tax. And so by going to taxing, we can look at what the current tax rates are over here. And so the ore is at 4, the food is at 3, and the mana is at 2. So I think it'd be really nice to be able to just get a bunch of workers out to start off with, and I might be able to follow an action to recruit them afterwards. And 3 is not too bad. It's not as great as 4. But let's go ahead and do the taxing action, and we'll get 3 food. So that's going to move my food up to 5. And the way this works is that we scoot the top one all the way back to the bottom, and all these push up. And then they just sit like that. And then we see what the solo opponent's going to do. And we draw one of these cards. This is going underneath the shaman. And so there's a couple different build cards that the solo opponent has. But this particular one is either building towers or air vessel or sea vessel. He's got another one that they'll use to move their capital city up this little track. That'll give them extra bonuses as they go as well. But he's going to try to build. He cannot build a tower. They have this priority order that they're going through, so he cannot build a tower because he doesn't have any serfs out. It's actually pretty hard for them to get serfs out. But the next thing they're going to go to is the air vessel. And so the air vessel is going to cost 2 food. Whoops. Oh, yeah, no, that was already down there. It's going to be 2 food and 2 mana, but he unfortunately he used his, unfortunate for me, but unfortunate for him, he used his 2 mana already to do that spell earlier. So he's not going to have what it is required to do the air vessel, and so now he wants to do the sea vessel. And he does have what he needs to do the sea vessel because it's 2 food and 2 ore. So everything's down to 1 for him. And then I've got all this stuff a little bit off camera here. So we're going to place this croc here. This is their sea vessel, and this will stay docked over here next to their capital city. So it's considered to be in the same region as the capital city, as well as the courtyard. It's all connected. If I went to go attack, I'd have to deal with this plus their 3 heroes, and I'm not going to be doing that anytime soon. But that's what they're doing. But because they did the build action, I can follow that as well if I would like. But building, I'm really looking more to recruit, and I'd really like to recruit serfs rather than build out anything. And I really don't have anything I can build. All of these sections right here require a serf to be locked in for the rest of the game, and these are buildings, and these buildings allow you to build the thing that's underneath of it. So even if I wanted to, like, you can either recruit, you can do this on a recruit action or a build action to put out your sea vessel or your air vessel, but you also have to have the building associated with it built prior to being able to do that. So unfortunately, I cannot follow that action. So now I have to kind of decide, do I want to use my last command action of the round to do that recruit and get some more serfs out? And just so you know, I know this is an overhead view. It's kind of awkward to lay these guys down, but this is one of the warriors. So he is not a serf. I've got 2 serfs. This is how you start out. You start out with 2 serfs and 1 warrior. But there's still a chance that he's going to do a recruit action that I could follow. And so I'd really like to be able to also produce resources for the next round. So I think what I'm going to do is actually take a march action. So I can march over here, and I could leave one of my serfs in town in my courtyard here and possibly be able to follow a recruit action afterwards. So let's take a look and see if I'm going to march these guys. The serfs can move 2 at a time. The warriors can move 3, and so moving together, they have to move at the slowest speed. So they'll move at the speed of the serfs. And I got to kind of think about what I want. I kind of want food because I want to just be able to keep making serfs as much as possible early on. So if I go in over here, there is one space for a serf. That's what all these little pickaxe and shovel spots are, like worker locations. And you can kind of think of your serfs sort of as being workers. So anytime there's a spot for that, then you can fit one of your workers into it, and it'll give you an extra resource during the resource collection phase. But I'll also get one just for controlling that area, so I would gain 2 food if I stay here by the end of the round, which I'm assuming I will. Now, as soon as I stop movement into an area, what you do is you pick where you're going to go, you move your characters, and then that's the only thing that you really deal with any activations, because we're going to do an exploration token. I'm going to flip this over and see what it is, and it just so happens to be 1 food and 1 ore. So now I'm going up even further over here. I get 1 more food and 1 more ore. So that's not bad, and then this token's just going to get discarded over here. All right, so let's see what the next thing is that the solo opponent's going to do. They're going to pull out their next activation card, and it is another build action, which kind of stinks. I mean, yeah, I still don't think I'm going to be building anything off of that. And what they want to do is they want to pay for their next capital city level. And so that's going to cost them 2 ore, but they are pretty low on resources right now. So this becomes a failed action. If it's a failed action, I actually wouldn't have gotten to follow it anyways. So even if it was a recruit action, I might actually not have been able to follow it, because they probably wouldn't have been able to have enough to do whatever the recruit was, unless, I guess that's the one time they can get a serf out easily, is if they have low resources, because it'll default to that if they had 1 food left. So when they fail an action, then they're going to move, and that's what all these little compass symbols are up in the top right, and so it's showing the direction that it's going to move. So we look at the particular hero that's talking about, which is the Berserker, and it's going to move 1 space, and it's going to go in that southwest direction. So we'll look back over on the board here, and so suddenly she pops out of the capital city, and she wants to go southwest. Now, she has a vessel here, and she'll immediately hop into the vessel when she wants to move. So instead of only moving 1 space, she's actually going to move 3. And so she'll come out southwest, which is going to be into this sea region. She's going to take this token here, and we're just going to keep it face down, and we'll put it over onto they've got a little spot for these. And she's immediately going to gain 1 point from doing that as well. So this little marker is going to go up 1. I'm sorry, that's me. She's going to end up going up 1 from gaining that. Now we still have some more movement to go as well. And so she, again, wants to keep going southwest. Now with these vessels, don't follow these ferry routes. These are for people that are walking across. They can walk across the land through these ferry routes, but she's going to want to keep going southwest. And the thing with these 2 is if I remember right, they do not want to end in a water area on their second movement, so they'll move a different direction if they need to. Now they could actually still wrap around the map though with their sea vessel, because they can follow these graticals, and that's what they call all these little diamonds that have either numbers or letters on them. And that just indicates that they can wrap around to the other side of the board, because this is considered like a world. This is like a round circle laid flat on a map here. So this is actually connected to the other side of the board where the bee's at. But she's in this section right now. And so we're still looking at like more or less the center of this. You can kind of think of this as being like an area where the ferry lines are separating it. And so she wants to go southwest from whatever the center is of that. So if we kind of go southwest, you know, I could see an argument where people might want to say that it wraps around the board, but this is also going to confuse things because on the second movement of the sea vessel, they have to dock onto a land. And if she wraps around on the other side of the board, this, because we're playing if you're playing solo or you're playing a two-player game, you set it up the same way as a solo, and you leave one continent as inaccessible, so neither of us can get into this continent. So I believe what is actually going to happen is this is going to move kind of southwest, more or less, from the center of this area here, and cross over into this section, grabbing yet another exploration token, getting yet another point, and then it's going to want to dock. And it wants to dock. It's going from southwest from the center, and obviously that's not hitting any land. So we start to go kind of from more or less from the center of this and start going clockwise until we hit something. So I believe the first thing, if I'm looking at the center of this and wrapping around, it's going to touch this land right here. And so she'd dock in right there. I'm going to leave her on her boat, but she's kind of also in the land itself. And because she just walked into any land, the Automa opponent is going to get to gain a resource every time that happens. So she's actually going to gain the food. If it was anything else, if it was ore, if it was the forest, she'd gain mana. And then she's also going to gain this exploration token. So she's just gobbling stuff up. She's already getting on my land, and she's gaining points. So she's actually gained like 3 points with that movement. That's kind of the way I guess they have to balance it, since these guys don't really have a brain. They're just following these blind orders. And we'll see some other weird stuff probably where they just start doing little circles and stuff and get stuck in areas because of the way their cards are working. But that's her action from that point on. Now all of the actions are done for the round, and so we'll collect all these cards back up and put them kind of in a discard pile, more or less. Just leave them over here to the other side of the draw pile. If I ever run out and I get to just one card and I have to draw one and there's only one left, actually I'll shuffle all of the discard piles into that one, so you never exactly know what's going to happen with them. It's always a little bit of a question. So now we're going to gain resources, and we can go back to this closer look over here too, and see what we're actually gaining. So again, I'm gaining 1 food because I'm in these plains, and an additional food because I have a worker there, so I'll gain 2 food. And she is also sitting in the plains, so she's going to gain 1 food from that as well. So let's go ahead and do that. She'll get 1 food, I'll get 2 food. So I'm at 8 food. I got a lot of food, but I don't got a lot of people. And then our command tokens come back. I got the serf sitting there, hanging out, waiting to follow some orders. And I think everything else is now set to continue on. We'll go on with the next enemy activation. Oh, before I do that, let me remember, because I forget to do this, I do gain another spell card. So this spell card is Wish, costs 4 mana. It'll give me 2 points if I spend it. And this is a combat spell, so it means that I have to play it during combat. And I'll gain 6 resources of my choice in any combination. I can move up to 3 of my units from any regions to my capital city. Ah, man, that's almost more nice than this grow card is. So then I have to kind of decide if I want to keep one or the other. I kind of think I would probably like that Wish. That sounds really good, to be able to just gain any 6 resources and then just pop my units away whenever they're getting attacked. And I know she's getting ready to start causing some trouble on my land as it is. So I think I'm going to keep the Wish. I'm going to throw away the Grow card, and we'll just hang out with that for right now. So let's see what she's actually doing, though. Now that I made sure to do that correctly. Okay, so I'm saying she, but we're going back to the chieftain, which I'm assuming is a male. And he wants to attack. So he would attack anybody that's within 2 spaces away, as long as their natural power, which is the power that would be printed on their card before they get any extra abilities, and as long as it's the same as him, whatever army that he's carrying with him, he would go to attack. But he does not have that currently right now because he's over here in the capital city. So that action is going to fail, and he's going to move, and he's going to move north. And so we're going to now pop him out from the courtyard. He's going to come out of the capital city, and he's going to go directly north of the center line of that particular land that he's in. And so he'll land in the ore. He'll gain another one of these exploration tokens, which will give him yet one more point. And then he's also going to gain an ore because he's landing in the what they call the mountains. All the red regions are mountains that produce ore. And so I cannot follow that, obviously, because it's an attack. So now I have to kind of figure out what I'm going to do. And so looking at my board over here, I know this is part of playing the solo opponent, as I know what their deck is. There's only 8 cards there, so I know what's going to tend to show up. And I know they have 2 recruit cards that still haven't shown up yet. So I kind of want to hang out with my surf here and not take the action to recruit. Because I believe I'll be able to follow shortly if I wait out, hopefully by this next turn. So I kind of think I want to do is build. I know I'm not going to be able to follow a build action either because they've done both of their build cards. So if I build, I can choose one of these locations on the board. However, gosh, I forget that you have to lose the surf when you do this. So it means that the surf has to come off of the courtyard, and it's stuck there for the rest of the game, which means I definitely won't be able to follow again afterwards. So, geez, unfortunately, I think I'm going to just have to recruit. I don't really know what else I can do other than tax, or I could march. I could move my warrior over and just try to pick up another location on the board. Oh man, that does confuse that just a little bit. So what I think I'm going to do instead is I'm actually just going to march. I'm going to hold out one more time, hopefully being able to follow with this later for recruitment. And I think I'm going to march, and I'm going to use my warrior, and I'm going to bring him over into one of these sections where I can get some more, because he's not gaining me any more resources where he's at. The worker itself is doing as much resource gaining as it can in that land. He can move up to 3 spaces, and I could put him somewhere where he's going to gain 1 resource at the end, and he'll get the 1 token. But you'll notice these gray areas, they don't produce resources. These are called swamps. But they always start with 2 tokens on them. And because she's on my land here too, it's likely she's going to start gobbling up all of my tokens, so I won't be able to gain any chance off of these exploration tokens. These are a little dangerous. I might lose this guy when he goes in here. We'll see what happens, but there's a lot of good stuff that can show up as well. So I'm going to move him 1, 2, I believe. I could move him 3, but I don't really want him to have to get into battle. If he gets into battle with her, at least it'll slow her down a little bit. But then when she attacks, she's gonna move at least 2 when she does. So if I'm gonna do this, I probably might as well just go ahead and take the ones over here because he does have that 1 extra movement. So we'll bring him in over here, putting him in harm's way. He's probably gonna die. And we do this, we reveal 1 token at a time, and we see what it does. So oh, this is terrible. Okay, this is a monster. I think he just straight up kills my character. So we'll go back over to this exploration token overview here. Will tell us what all these do. Now I could bring these up where we can see them, but well, okay, I'll do that real quick. Let's take a look here. So you may be able to read this, but it's saying some unnatural beast bearing yellow fangs ambushes you, leaving you bewildered and uncertain whether to fight or flee. If your army has at least 3 natural strength, defeat this monster and gain a point. If it does not, your army must move to your capital city or to the region of a tower you control. So thankfully he doesn't die, but I did kind of waste that movement. So he's going to end up hopping back into my capital city. So he's hanging out more or less with this surf over here. And that's the end of my go. Let's see what they do. Hopefully it's something I can follow. Hey, it's a recruit. I knew those recruits were coming out. So they want to make an air vessel. This is going off of the shaman. So we look at the air vessel again, and eventually I'll have this memorized probably, but it can't do the air vessel because it doesn't have 2 mana. So unfortunately, it can't do that, but it's going to do the sea vessel is already out. So now it wants to just do a warrior. So it's going to spend 2 food, 1, 2, and then we'll grab one of their warriors, and that will that's going to go out with the shaman. So I'm going to leave this in the courtyard with him because he's just kind of hanging out with him for right now. And yeah, and then now I can actually follow that. So let's see what we can do here. I am gonna have to use that guy, and we're gonna spend 1, 2, 3 food. And now we'll get 2 more serfs. So now we got more to follow with or move with, collect stuff with, hopefully. Maybe that monster saved us. I forgot to take that token off the board. Well, yeah, he does come off, doesn't he? Yep, we discard him after resolving, so the monster is out of there. All right, let's think about what else we're gonna do. What I think I'd like to do is I think I'd like to be able to produce more mana because spells are really nice. I'm going to keep getting one each round. I'd like to be prepared to use this. We also have combat cards whenever combat happens, and so use mana for some of these this combat as well. There's a couple good combat cards that can show up with that. So I think I want to move these guys. I'm actually going to move the 2 extra serfs that I just created in order to get to this land over here. I'd like to get, let's pop it in down here. I'd like to get all the way from the courtyard over here. This is only 2 spaces away. I will pick up another exploration token. I'm dangerously close to her, although she's also dangerously close to creating a serf and putting a tower down here eventually too. So we'll see what happens with these guys. But maybe I'll be able to defend myself if I get attacked. We'll see. So let's grab all 3 of these guys so I can move as many people as you want to that's in an army. The only time you can have more than 5 in one location is if they're in your courtyard. But they're moving out of the courtyard, so they're moving at a speed of 2. And then I'll get to pop in both of my serfs into these locations, and the warriors kind of looking over them, and we'll see what this is. Okay, so this is the mysterious wizard tower, and what that is going to do is it says atop his tower, a shriveled old wizard babbles incoherently, his sanity lost to living in isolation, but his wisdom may yet prove useful. When your army ends movement here, including when this token is revealed, you may pay 1 mana to perform a free research action. Cannot be followed. You keep the token in the region. If 2 towers occupy the same region, then you remove 1 from the game. All right, so I could spend a mana right now to look at another card, or look at a few more cards. I really like this wish card though a lot, and I feel like it's going to save me. So I'm probably just going to hang on to it, honestly, and just save my mana. And then they'll just hang out there, and we'll see what the solo opponent does. So let's see what that Berserker does on my land, and she's going to tax. And when they tax, they get to do all kinds of good stuff. So with the tax, they get all of these resources here at whatever rate that they're currently at. So they're going to gain 4 food, 3 mana, and 2 ores. So let's put that up. So 4 food, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 mana, 1, 2, 3, and 2 ore, 1, 2. I kind of wish I'd left a surf back to be able to follow that action, but we did not. So all this is going to then fix itself up, and she gets to do an extra bit as well. She gets to move, and because she's in a sea vessel, she gets to move 3. Now she undocks for free. Normally with us, we have to spend a movement to dock or undock from the sea to the land, but she gets to do that for free. And then she wants to move east, which is great. And she's going to move 3 times east. So, which is not great because she's going to go 1 over here. Oh, I forget that they have to dock after their second movement, so that is actually good. 2. She's going to pick up this sea exploration token, gain another point, and now she has to dock, and she's looking at east. So we go clockwise again. She wraps it around, and because we're looking at the center of this section more or less as it wraps around, I believe it is actually, this is really split down here at this tip, but I believe it's actually going to hit that yellow plains first. So she's going to dock in there. She's going to gain a food because she just walked into a food producing area, and she's going to gain 1 more exploration token and gain another point. So they really shoot up in points early in the game, but we'll see if we can get some defenses by the end of it. So that's the end of that round. So we're going to bring everything back and get all of our resources. So I'm going to end up gaining 1, 2, and 3 mana. So I'll go up to 5 mana. I'll get 1 for control and 2 for having the worker here of food. 1, 2. I'm still not producing any extra ore. They are now producing 1 ore and 1 food, so they'll get 1 ore and 1 food. And that's that. And then these will all go away. There's 2 more cards here, so they still have 1 available. These command tokens will come back, and our surf will come back, and then we'll start this next round. So let's see what they do. So before I forget to do this too, let's look at what my new spell card is. I don't think it's going to be better than another one. This is weaken. It says enemy serfs and warriors are -1 power, basically attack power, including any that are conscripted. So if they use conscription, it means they are using a card where they move people into the area. This isn't that great right now, so I'm just going to put that in the discard pile. And then we'll go again back over to the solo opponent. I'll grab this first card out and see what it is. It is a recruit. So the chieftain is wanting again to recruit the air vessel, which I believe he's going to be able to do now. He's got 2, he's going to spend 2 food, 1, 2, and he's going to spend, what is it, 2 mana. And then he's going to put out the dragon. And the dragon is going to pop in right where he's at, and he immediately hops into the dragon. So he is riding the dragon, chasing the dragon. So he's hanging out on here for right now. And I can follow that action. So I do have a surf hanging out here. My board's getting all twisted. And so let's put that, let's go ahead and do that recruit, because we want to keep getting these surfs moving. 1, 2, 3 food, and we'll get 2 more surfs out on our board. And then we get to select what we're going to do. And so what I think I really like is I kind of like to get ready to make this airship. I'm probably not going to be able to do it this round, but I need to get this air spire built, this building that allows me to start building the airship, because the airship has a special ability. It says serfs in your courtyard are considered adjacent to the airship, which means he's kind of like a walking tower, basically, as far as being able to, well, he's very similar in the sense that I guess he actually doesn't have quite as much defense, but at the very least, he allows me to start shipping my people off to different areas, which I like. I like that quite a bit. I could even start going up into that upper continent and just get away from where these guys are quickly getting ready to attack me. So I think I'm going to go ahead and build here. And so what I'll have to do is I'll put this in the build section for the command action. I have to spend 3 to do that, which is a lot of ore since I don't have hardly any. And I also have to lose a surf. But now my airship is ready to be built. Hopefully I'll be able to get that going by the next round. Let's see what they do then. We're gonna, so now we're at the last card of the enemy deck, so we have to shuffle those up. So I'll shuffle those up real quick. All right, and let's see what he's got. Tax, he wants to tax. Well, at least I can follow that. So this is the shaman, and the shaman's still in the courtyard, but they're going to gain Buku's crap ton of resources. So they've got 4 mana, 3 ore, and 2 food. So 4 mana, I'll put them to 6. 3 ore, we'll put him to 8. And 2 food, we'll put him to 7. So now they are plentiful. And I think, yeah, I might as well go ahead and follow that action. And man, as much as I'd like to just keep getting like the highest one, I think I need ore because I don't really have anything that's producing ore. So at least that way I'm getting some ore production. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that and figure out. Let's see. Let's make sure we don't forget to move these. I'm going to figure out what else we're going to do. Well, I know one thing that we're going to do is we're going to move him 1 space after that. So he wants to move east, and he is in the courtyard. He does have a warrior with him now. So he's going to grab the warrior, and he's going to move directly east of the courtyard. So looking at that is directly east of this, as I believe is right into this green section right here. So he's going to gain, they're going to gain 1 mana, and they're going to gain this token as well. So we'll pop that in over with their big pile of them that they have. He's going to gain a point, and he's going to gain a mana. So he is just ready to roll. So I don't really have a whole lot that I can do right now. I don't have any serfs in here, and I have all these actions already taken over. So I'm probably just going to march, and I'll march that one of these warriors, the only warrior I have, so I could put him somewhere where I'm going to gain 1 resource, or I could chance it again and go after 2 of these tokens. And you know what? You only live once. Let's go ahead and go into the swamp, and we'll flip over this first tile. Okay, so that one is let's see, that's what is that? That's the village. And so it says that the denizens of this quaint village are kind and would surely shower a leader like you with glory. The player that controls this region at the end of the game gets 2 points. So that will stay out there. And then we'll go back over and see what this last token is. It's an ore. Hey, he made up for the ore that he didn't make earlier. So not too bad, not too bad. At least we got something out of that. So let's go back over to the Automa and see what he does. He's going to recruit. Of course he is. So they've already got their air and sea vessel out, so now he wants a warrior, and this is coming with the berserker, and it's going to just hop right into her ship. So there's 1, 2, and then we'll pop in a warrior over there for her. And it'll just hop right into this crocodile's back. Okay, and I cannot follow that because I don't have any more followers to follow. So we're going to go back over to the end of that upkeep resource gathering phase. So now I'm gaining 3 mana. So I'm up to 8. That's great. And I gain 2 food. They're going to gain a ore, a mana, and a food. So they get 1 of each of these, 1, 1, and 1. All right, and then we'll get our command tokens back. These serfs will come back, ready to keep surfing, as serfs do. All right, so let's see. I think, before I forget, let's grab another spell card, see what it is. This is the magic arrow. It's the combat spell. Before tactic cards are chosen, destroy one warrior or serf. Nice, but I'm not going to probably want to use it before I use that wish card. So let's leave that off over here. And let's go ahead and see what else they're going to do. All right. So they are going to now finally have the ore that they want to upgrade their capital city a little bit. So they're going to spend 2 ore. They're going to go up this track. That means they're going to get 3 points in the game currently. They're going to definitely have this up higher by the end of the game. And now orc armies are +1 strength when attacking. So now they're even more terrible people. So going back over to my area, though, I could follow that now. And I don't see any good reason to not follow it. So let's go ahead and put a serf over here. And now we can build. So the airship and well, it's called the airship here. My sea and my air vessel can either be recruited or built or done under those actions. So I now have what I need to make my airship, and that's what I wanted to do anyways. So let's spend 2 food and 2 mana, and now we get to pull out the airship. It gets to come out onto the board. Now this has to go onto my capital city. So so it's either here or in the courtyard. You can think of it as being in the same spot, but I'll just pop it in right there for right now. And so now I can bring people out of the courtyard with it if I ever do a fly action with it, which I may be doing shortly. We'll see. So they have recruited twice, so they're not going to be recruiting anytime super soon. So maybe it's still a good time to go ahead and do a recruit, and let's just keep this farm train going with these serfs. 1, 2, 3. Spend 3 food to get 2 more serfs out. And we'll have those ready to go for the next whatever follow actions I can follow. Let's see what the solo is going to do. He's going to pull out an attack card. So the shaman wants to attack, but it is definitely too far away to be able to do anything. So it's I think it's going to fail at this point. It cannot walk anywhere that's going to take it where it wants to go to attack. So now it wants to go north according to its card, so it's going to walk straight into the desert with this guy. He's going to gain a token. And we'll pop that in over here and give him another point. So they're already at 9 points, and I'm not even on the board yet. That's great. All right, so let's see what the next thing is that I'm going to do here. And what I think I want to do is, I think I am going to go ahead and fly. So flying is different than marching. We have to do a separate action for that. So I'm going to take 2 of my serfs and pop them in with this fellow over here. So it's going to hop in directly into my ship, or my airship, or whatever. Whoa, and there it all goes, all over the place. And I think I want to go ahead and just take them over to the other island so that my airship can move 3 spaces. So let's pop it over the big one here. So it's going to hop in over here, and now it can hop into any of these land spaces that it's connecting to. And I think I might want to make food. I'm not sure if I want to make food or if I want to make just more ore to build with, but I've got some ore right now. But I think on the next turn, I may actually want to just upgrade my capital city. So, and I need more food to do that with. I'm not going to make quite enough where I'm at already. So I think I'm going to hop them into this prairie land over here, this plains, and then I'll get my 2 workers over here. And it's also kind of out of the way. So I'll put the ship right here, and we'll flip over this token, and let's see what it is. So it is I know what this one is. It's a magic portal. It's saying that swirling light rips through the air before you, revealing some distant land. Each region with a portal is considered adjacent. So we keep the token in the region, and then if 2 portals occupy the same region, remove one from the game. So basically, like when another portal shows up, there's 5 of them out of the totality of all of the exploration tokens. They're not necessarily all in this game because we leave quite a bit out in a 2-player game. But I'll be able to like move from portal to portal is kind of how that works. All right, so I think that's my turn done. Let's see what the last action is that he's going to do, and it is going to be to build. Okay, so it wants to build a tower, but it doesn't. They don't have any serfs, so they can't build a tower yet, and they already have their air and sea vessel out. So this is actually going to be a failed action on the berserker. So we're going to go over to the berserker here, and it wants to move northwest. So it cannot go into a location with another hero. Their heroes are vying for their own glory, and they are territorial, and they do not want other heroes of the same faction in their space. So we'll continue clockwise, and it's going to end up in this mountain region. Let's see. Oh, I forgot. It is in a sea vessel, so it's going to actually be able to move 3 spaces. And so let's see, it wants to go northwest again. So I believe it's going to go up here first, take this token, and that will give them another point. So they're at 10 now. And then he wants to go northwest from here, which is going to land them in this region. Gains yet another token. Let's pull that back a little bit, and gets 1 more point. So now they're at 11, and it wants to dock, but it doesn't have anywhere to dock because they can't access this area. So they can't access. I wonder what exactly they do. So yeah, this is a confusing part of. There's a lot of little rules like this with the solo opponent that can be a little confusing, especially with movement. But he's moving northwest with a sea vessel, so it would have wrapped around clockwise to go into this location. The second movement would end here. The problem is that this continent is not accessible by players, it says, but in the rules it states that they will dock on the next land region that's in its direction. Going northwest, it would be, I believe, this yellow one. Normally this wouldn't be accessible. He's not going to go into the land, but he is docked on that land, which is a little weird to think about it. Otherwise, he's not going to have any land that is next to him. I would have to default back to going northwest until I ended up hitting a land that he would be able to dock at, because on his third movement would be spent docking into somewhere, which would land him, I believe, back at this these mountain areas right here. So I'm going to rule that because this is inaccessible, and it does say that they have to dock, so I don't think they ever stay at sea. I believe. I could say that he docks in here and then he just gains that resource like they normally would, but it says it's inaccessible in a 1 to 2 player game by players. I'm assuming it's also meaning the solo player. It's a little confusing. I'm not sure, because if he does dock in there, that means that he's literally inaccessible by me. Like I couldn't go over and ever attack him, which is a little weird. So, it's hard. It's hard to say because it's supposed to be an adjacent region that he's docking into. That's a little difficult. I'm not really sure what the best way is to rule that. So he's not a player. He's a solo person. So I guess I'm just going to go off the strict wording and say that it docks in over there, and leave it at that, and then just give him another piece of food. I don't know if that's the best way to do that. The solo rules weren't written the best for this game. I'll go ahead and say that right now. We'll just leave him over there because I don't think it's going to really hurt anything. He's probably going to end up eventually coming back to the mountains at some point anyways. So that'll be the end of their turn, and then we'll finish up. I can't follow that action because that was a failed action. Either way, I'm already covered up on my build over here, so I wouldn't be able to follow it. So, so at this point, I'm going to gain 3 mana, so I'll be at 9 mana, which is great. I'm going to get 2 food from this, and I'll get 3 food from that one, so I'll actually get 5 food, which is also great. And then my command tokens will come back over here. Serfs will come over here. They're going to gain 1 ore, and we're going to say they gain a food, even though that's a weird spot. We're just going to play it like it says. Goofy rules as they are written. All right. So then these will all go away, and we'll get to see what the next one is that the solo opponent is going to pull out. So they want to attack. The chieftain wants to attack. Oh gosh. But it has to be within 2 spaces away, and it's not, even though it's on a ship, on a flying vessel. Yeah, because he can't follow the gradical. Even if he could, it doesn't matter. He'd end up staying in a sea region. He's not going to do that. So I believe that's going to be a failed action. And oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even have that over on the top over here. So I believe it's going to be a failed action because he can't move 2 over to us. So let's see. So he wants to move south. And he's flying, so he can move over sea regions at first, and he cannot walk back, and he can't end in the capital city. That's the way I consider movement with the solo opponent, is that it's just like us. You pick one land to end at. So it says they can't re-enter the capital city, but he's not going to stay here. So I'm going to say he goes south towards the capital city. He's got 2 more movement. He wants to go south again, directly south from the center of this area right here. Is just going to touch the tip of this this forest mana creating location. So he's going to go here, and I don't believe they will end in a sea region. Double check that. Yeah, they definitely won't end in a sea region. So we'll keep going clockwise. Can't go into the capital city. Can't go in with another hero here. So it will end its movement then over here. And even though, like with the players, they will, pick a location to end and do any collection and stuff in that area, they gain resources every time they move through a land. So he's going to end up getting 1 mana and 1 food. So we'll pop that over here as well. So we'll get 1 mana and 1 food. All right, so that's another slightly less complicated, but still complicated solo movement. So now we'll go over to me and see what I do. Well, I said that about that movement thing, but I looked at that again, and I'm thinking, like, it's when they enter a region. So I think that movement, even though he's moving 3, I think it doesn't really count as him entering the region until that's like the end point of his movement, because the normal way that we move is we have a certain point value of movement speed that we can go to, and then you enter 1 region at a time. So I'm actually going to pull that mana back and say he did not actually get one of those manas right there, and then we'll go back and get and figure out what we're going to do. I think I'm going to go with my original plan, which was to get that capital city built up, get that moving along, because my airship will then also be able to collect 2 resources of its region type at the end. So that's pretty darn nice. I'll have to spend 4 of all my resources, which will eat up all of my ore. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So So I'm at 5 mana, 2 food, and no ore. But now I get to pop up my capital city one. So we get to add one more layer to this. So this kind of stacks as it goes. And now I get the bonus stats on my for my defense for my capital city. It's got 6 defense now as well. And now I've got access to everything across the middle row as well as my heroes also, but they're not built yet, but they have their they will have access to their middle row as well. All right, so let's see what the next thing they do is. So they need to shuffle at this point. So we don't shuffle this one. I don't believe we shuffle that one. Let me double check. Maybe we do shuffle this one. No, we don't. We don't. We don't shuffle the ones that are on top of the heroes at the moment. So we'll take the one that's left and mix it in with these ones. All right, now we got them shuffled. I am doing that off cam, just so you know these are getting actually shuffled. And then we'll pick up the next one. It's another attack. So the shaman definitely cannot do any attacks from where it's at. It's wanting to go north. Well, actually, let's see. It could go, it could wrap around the 3 spot, but it's still not going to land over somewhere where it can attack. Got to remember, sometimes these adjacencies are deceptively close because of the ferry routes. It could go through the sea route, but that's not going to take it anywhere that it can even access. So it's going to go north of the desert, which is going to put it right square in with these 2 exploration tokens, giving them an additional 2 points. So they are just racking up points early on. I don't know if we'll catch them or not, but we'll see. All right, let's see what we're going to do. And I think what I'd really like to do is probably fly again. That airship is really helpful because it produces a lot of resources. I want a lot of ore. I'm getting really low on ore. I know I'm going to be able to make 2 food, so long as my serf doesn't get killed or something on this next go, which I don't think he will, hopefully. But I'd like to be able to make a bunch of ore, and I've got a good option to do that by going up to this top area that we're at the top of the board here now in this other continent. So we could fly and just grab these 2 guys back up here. And I'm thinking we could just go 1, 2, 3 and pop in over here to this ore spot. That'll give us another exploration token to deal with, and pop both of these guys in over here. So let's see what this exploration token is. And it's a mana. Okay, it's not bad. So we'll pop that off on the discard here, and we'll gain a mana. All right. So let's see then what the solo is going to do for their last action. They are going to build, and unfortunately I cannot follow that. And they are going to move their capital city up again. 1, 2, 3 ore. And now orc warriors all have +1 attack, which is terrible. So I think we probably are going to try to defend more than attack. I don't know if there's going to be a good option to attack at some point. All right, but that's everything so far. So now, because we're at level 2 on their capital city, the airship's going to collect 2 resources. These guys are going to collect 2 resources, and controlling the area is going to collect a resource. So we'll get 5 ore, which is really nice. I'll get the 2 food. It'll put me at 4. And I'll get 1, 2, and 3 for control. So I'll get 9 mana. I think I may have forgotten to grab my last spell card, but we'll just grab this top one here. Take 1. This is a cast ability. You take 1 serf from your region, from your supply, and place it in your region. And because these guys are all kind of spaced out and not really kind of in my way so much as far as combat goes, that's not bad to be able to just summon serfs anywhere I want to go. I've only got 4 more though that I need to make. It's a little, it's hard to want to just get, oh, I forgot, I'm at level 2 on my capital city, so now I can't actually hold on to 2, so I don't even have to think about that. All right, great. These command tokens will come back. They are going to gain 1, we're going to say 2 food, so long as that's not illegal. We'll just count it as it's okay. The swamp's not making anything, so they're going to gain 2 food, so they're going to be capped out on food at that point. All right. All these cards are going to go off in the discard pile, and we're going to draw a new one for the solo. And they are going to research. So now I could possibly follow this and scribe. So the research is he's going to pay 2 mana because this is the chieftain, and the chieftain's going to do the farmer's plague ability, which is going to give him 1 point, and an opposing serf within 2 regions of him is going to die. But I don't believe, let's see, within 2 regions of him. Ooh, I think it is actually going to hit this because even though their movement is restricted on these guys, they don't follow the ferry ships. It's technically 2 away from him because you can wrap around. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even show the map here. He can wrap around over here from this 3 spot where he's standing at. Again, his movement doesn't work that way, but it is technically 2 away because the 3 would be 1 just to get over here, and then 2. So I think he is actually going to kill one of my serfs, which kind of sucks. Okay. Well. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna probably follow that as well. I think it wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be bad to have this scribed and just be able to take advantage of it, because the really great thing about this is that you can summon them anywhere, which means I can just pop them off far away from everybody else, which I do kind of like that. And it's a cast ability, which means I can cast over here and then do another action with a follow. I can follow myself over here in the command actions with serfs. Yeah, why not? We'll go ahead and just slot that in. Okay, so let's see what we're going to actually do though for our turn. So 2 things I'd really like to do is I'd really like to get the Galleon out and the Mage. The Mage is really powerful, has some really strong abilities. It allows you to collect any resources in the location that it's at rather than whatever the particular type is that's there. So that's really cool. And then it also allows you to pay anything on the level 2 ability. It allows you to pay anything for combat spells when they attack, which is also super nice. But I feel like I'm going to want to have the galleons out at some point, and if I build right now, I could get that out on. Well, I can't get it out on the board, but I can get the sea dock built at least. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that to get ready for it. Because if I can follow on a recruit action, I can get that out in this same round. But let's go ahead. It's going to cost 3. Each of these buildings costs 3 in a serf. So 1, 2, 3. And we'll have to lose 1 serf over here. So that's going to go in right there. And then let's see what the solo is going to do. They are going to recruit. All right, just like I hoped they would. So they got their air vessel, their sea vessel. They are going to do a warrior at this point. 1, 2. They are going to be getting serfs out soon, unfortunately, because if they get all these warriors placed, then that's just going to happen. He's going to go in with the shaman, so the shaman's getting even stronger, and then I can follow at this point, and I do want to follow, I believe. So let's recruit. Now, what do I want to recruit? I could recruit the galleon, or I could just spend 3 food and get 2 more serfs out and possibly follow like a tax action if that shows up. That might be worthwhile. Oh, you know what? I did not place out a serf over on the research area last time when I cast So I don't think I can actually follow this. I think I forgot to put that over there. Yeah, because I had summoned this over here. So shoot, I guess I can't do that. But I can, I could spend this. Right now I've got quite a bit of mana, and I'm going to be producing at least 2 more at the end of this, which probably wouldn't be a bad time to do that. Or I could recruit, I could just do my command action to recruit the galleon. I think for fun though, I do want to use this to keep using it, because it is going to take 2 turns to cool down. The fun part about this is I get to place it in any region. So I may kill this guy as soon as I place him out. But I can go ahead and cast this. This is going to cost me 2 mana. I flip this upside down. I get to take one of my, well, that's a warrior. Let's take a serf. And place a serf out anywhere that I want to on the board. I could place it right next to them if I wanted. I don't want to do that. I have to think about what I want to actually produce. I'm producing 2 food. I'm going to be producing a good amount of ore, and I'm producing a decent amount of mana as well. So because I'm going to be producing another 5 ore, I'll have a decent amount of ore. Probably wouldn't be bad for me to go ahead and just get more food, and I'd kind of like to go somewhere that's got an exploration token just for fun. I may lose this guy when I do this, but we'll see what happens. At least there'll be 1 more exploration token off of the board. Let's see, food. I'm gonna have a decent amount of food at the end of this. What do I really want? Ore is really good, because I do need to build quite a bit of stuff still. And I'd like to get some towers and things like that out. I'm gonna be at 7 ore at the end of this, so this is why it's such a question of whether I really need it right now or not, or the food. I think I'd like to get both of it. That's what I'd really like to do. 2, yeah, I'll be at 6 food. You know, they're pretty good at making food. So let's get ore. I'm gonna go up here and let's see in the close-up what that actually is. That's a thing. Let's see what it is. That's this farm up here. Oh, that's really nice. Okay, so maybe I can bring this up where we can actually read it together a little bit. So the farm is, you notice the exposed ribs of a neglected laborer. It's this one right here. And wonder if tossing him a morsel may persuade him to leave his farm and join your army. You may immediately pay 1 food to place 1 serf from your supply in this region. And then it talks about you can't have more units than 5. Place the serf in your courtyard if you do that, if it's too full. But we definitely have the room up there. So let's pay a food. So we'll go down to 3 food, and this will come off the board, and we get yet another serf out on the board. We are surfing around. He's not really doing anything, but he's there. So that's not bad. All right, so now I think we're going to the final solo's turn for this round. So let's see what he does. It's another recruit. That stinks that I can't follow it. So yet again, he's going to get another warrior out there, just getting these warriors out. And that is going to go by the berserker. Now this is strange. Okay, this is extra strange, because he can't go into the ship. I know that land is not really accessible. So man, I'm still confused. I'm still confused about this movement over here, because this warrior can't go in the ship. And so maybe it said they had a dock and a place after his second sea movement. Maybe he should have docked here. Maybe we should just say that he did dock there. Because, and I think I can fix most of that. If he had docked there before, because normally it would have wrapped around. I know it was wrapping around the way that it was going. It would have landed. It confused me because that would be a whole extra movement space over here to go across the ferry route. So it's a little goofy. Oh, I guess we could say it's a failed action. Yeah, because it says placed in the, if it cannot be placed there, then it's placed in the capital city. Okay, so we'll continue with our personal ruling that it stays there. So this will go into the capital city, and he'll just hang out here until a hero shows up to carry him on his merry way. All right, so it's not necessarily failed. So that's the end of their actions. We're going to see what we gain here. So I'll gain 2 mana from this, so I'll be at 9 mana there. I'm going to gain 2 food, 1, 2, and then now I'm going to gain a bunch of ore. I'm going to gain 5 ore from this, 2 from the airship, and then 2 from each of these farm locations here, or worker locations. In the control, so that's 5, and then 6 for control, 7 for having another guy there. So I'm going to go all the way up to 9 ore on that. So that's really nice. They are going to gain again another 2 food. It looks like because they're on those locations. We'll get our tokens back and get our surf back. These will all go away, and then we'll get another card. Oh, this also, the scribe spell is now rotating up 1, so next round it'll be available to use again. We'll gain another spell and see if it's anything worthwhile. It is recall. So this says that you move any units back to your capital city paying 1 mana per unit. I don't care about that. So that's going to go away. All right. And then we're going to see what the solo does. Tax. So I would probably like to follow that. We'll see. So they're going to collect 1 of each of the different resources. So currently it's 4, 3, and 2 over here. So it's going to gain 4 iron, 4 ore. 3 food, so that'll cap them out on food, and 2 mana. Man, they are just full of stuff. So now I have to decide, do I want to follow any of that? Not really. I mean, I could use the food right now, I guess. Maybe. I don't really know what else I'm going to follow for later. I might recruit more serfs. I've only got 3 left to recruit with. I need to start getting other people out on the board, so I need to start building. Maybe I'll get to recruit again after that. Shoot, I don't know if I really want to spend my 1 serf for 3 food. Do I want to do that? No, I don't think so. I think I've decided that I would rather just hang on to that serf for right now. So so let's see what else we can actually. Oh, they do actually have to move too. So the chieftain is going to move 1, and he is here. It says they move, so he's got a movement of 3, and this ship over here, or this dragon that he's flying around in. So. They don't move along the ferry routes, but they still get to, I believe they still get to skip across the land. So, man, that's going to put him into battle with me, isn't it? It's going to be 1, 2. If his second movement would end in a sea region, I think that does change something. Let me double check. Yeah, so so there's some updated rules in the Dice app that they did recently. So I'm kind of looking between that and my actual rule book, but it does say in there that they cannot end in a sea region. So he would have gone east 1, and then he can't end in a C region, and he can't move along. Apparently, with them, they can't move along the graticals, like wrapping around the board. So he would continue clockwise from this position, and I believe that would still end up hitting this as his second movement. And because his third movement would put him back in the land, he's going to go back around that clockwise order and end up coming in over here. But that's going to give him a mana to boot with that. Okay. So let's see what we do here. Okay, and what I think I want to do is build. I'd really like to build this. I'd love to have extra serfs to follow with, though, after doing this. So I'm a little worried about not having serfs to follow with. So I'd really like to get this mage going out. And another thing, I'm going to pull this spell card back, because I forgot that when I gained that, I was at Capital City level 2, so I did get to hang on to 2 of those. So I'm going to hang on to that, even though it's not really all that great of a card. Oh, and I also forgot that when I used that summon card earlier, I did gain a point from that, so I am technically on the track at this point. Yeah, I think I do want serfs still out. Yeah, because I love being able to follow. It really helps my actions. So it's probably going to be a recruit action that he pulls out next. In fact, I know I'm going to have to shuffle these cards up here too, so I should probably go ahead and start doing that. But yeah, if I recruit, it's so tough because I'd really like to build this, but it's going to take my serf, so I know I'm not going to be able to follow if I do this right now, so I might as well go ahead and recruit. And then maybe he's going to do a build action. I'll be able to build that. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, and I'll get 2 more serfs out and have those ready to go, and then we'll see after I finish shuffling these up here what the solo opponent's going to do. Okay. So they are going to attack. All right, and that is from the shaman, and he still cannot get to me from where he's at, because he's all the way over here. So he's going to end up moving 1. He wants to move north, can't move north, so he's going to continue going clockwise. He's going to finally take over this token over here, and then he's going to gain another point. And now we don't have anything to follow. I mean, I do have stuff to follow with, but I can't follow that action, so now I have to figure out what I'm going to actually command with these guys. And what I think I want to do then is I think I'm going to end up flying, and I'm going to do that so that I can pull over some of my characters and have them go over into this plains region to gain more food. And I think I'm going to follow that by marching. And the way this is going to work is over here we'll have the this guy's going to just take 1 of the serfs and fly him 1, 2, 3 and pop him in over here. And then with that march action followed by 1 of my serfs, I get to count the airship as being considered adjacent to my courtyard. So that means it's only 1 movement to get over there from my courtyard, and then I'll have those guys producing quite a bit of food for me, and I still have 1 serf left to follow with, so we'll see what else they do. They're going to research, which I don't really care to follow, and he's going to pay 1, 2, 3 mana, and he's going to gain 2 points, because the Berserker's ability is Warrior's Bane. An opposing warrior within 2 regions of the hero of the Berserker is destroyed. But we don't even have any warriors within 2 regions. No, not within 2 regions. So yeah, looking at the because this is the berserker over here on the alligator, and he is not in any kind of way 2 regions away, so I think we're safe there. Now we're going to go ahead and collect our resources. So I'm going to max out on ore, definitely, and mana. We're going to get 1, 2, and then we're going to get 5 over here, because the 2 from the ship, the 2 from the serfs and their worker locations, and the 1 there. So that's a total of 7, so it's really nice. I'm almost kind of capped out on stuff right now, so that's great. Maybe we can get some stuff done. So these guys are going to come back. Before I forget, I'm going to go ahead and draw my next spell card. It's Petrify. This is a cast ability. And it says you select 2 adjacent... I can barely read the words on that. You're definitely not going to be able to read them. You select 2 adjacent regions on the same continent. All units in those regions are petrified, and they're laid on their side. Petrified units cannot move or collect resources. They return to normal at the start of the next round. If battled, they're only effective against serfs, warriors, and here. What does that mean? They return to normal at the start of the next round, or if battled. Oh, okay. Only effective against serfs. Okay, so it's basically you can't do it against the vessels, is what it's trying to say. Petrify. That might be better than recall. Still not. I mean, it's mostly just good because it's worth 2 points if I cast it. And it could keep them from being able to get up. It could potentially, I could potentially use this to lock out some warriors if, like, you know, say the shaman leaves, he might just leave the petrified warriors. Oh, but it wouldn't let anybody move, so I guess that's kind of nice. Yeah, shoot. It's hard to say because being able to recall, I could potentially use that to move the ship around and like to get my airship back and move some heroes or something into it. You know, I'm going to toss it. I don't think I need it. Let's look at what they gain. They're going to gain 1 mana, 1 ore, and 1... basically, they're just going to gain 1 ore and 1 mana because they are kind of capped out themselves as well. So these are going to go away. We're going to see exactly what they do. And they want to attack again. They're getting real attempting on these attacks. So it's not a movement. So even though they normally can move, this is the chieftain that's going to be moving over here. Normally he's going to get to move 3. But he's not doing a movement, he's trying to do an attack. He can't reach anybody within 2. So 1, 2. Ooh, actually, yeah, he can attack my serf. He can go 1 out into the sea. No, he can't. That's not 2. He'd have to be able to have 1 more movement. So yep, that's gonna fail, and now he's gonna just walk around the board here. So he wants to go south, and then he can't follow Graticals, it said. So we're gonna go from this, what I consider the center of this, and he's gonna wrap around until he hits something. I'm gonna say because this ore land is sticking out kind of down here. As it's wrapping around, I think it's going to hit this first. So he's going to go in there and gain an ore. And then he wants to go south again for his 3rd movement. And he can't land into the sea region. He's going to end up going into this one. So he's going to gain an extra exploration token. And that'll go, let's see, let me make sure I did that right. So he started over here, he went south. If he's wrapping around, I know it says if their 2nd one would land in a sea region, I believe. Let me double check that to make sure it did. Yeah, their 2nd movement, they won't go into another sea region. So we did do that right, and then he's going to end up landing here then and taking that token. He's going to get a point, and he'll gain an ore, or I'm sorry, he's going to just gain the one food, which he can't because he's full on those. All right, so we obviously can't follow that, but we do badly want to build and recruit. But I feel like we're gonna still have options to follow at least once this round. So I did forget to turn this up. So we do have this one extra scribe spell available. I'm kind of tempted to just cast, put one out. It'll be my last surf that I can get out, and maybe we can make some more mana with it and then build afterwards. Although honestly, right now, it's kind of weird, but I could just go ahead and build my 3rd level capital city because I've got so many resources, but I really would like to start getting my heroes out. I want to do it all. And I know whichever action I pick, whether it's build or recruit, it's going to be the next one he takes that I won't be able to follow then. Decisions, so tough. Yeah, geez. Well, if I cast, I'll at least get a point along with that. But I need to be able to have my serfs ready to do these build locations. I've got all my serfs out already. So man, I really just need to go ahead and build. I think if I cast, I could just cast the serf right into here, which I don't really know what the point of doing that is, other than just to gain the point. So let's go ahead and just build, and we'll put this in over here. I'm gonna not think about it too much more than that. I guess at this point. So I'd really like to get the mage out. I'd love to be able to take advantage though of this thing that says that the towers built in a plains region will cost -2, and then my tower would be producing for me. I could move my serfs around to produce other stuff. Well, let's go ahead and spend 1, 2, 3 ore, and oh man, if I just go up my capital right now instead, I would be able to gain 2 mana from all of my plains regions as well, which means that I basically don't need to keep serfs and the forests at all. I could just put them all in the plains. Oh, that's so tempting to want to do. It would use up my resources. Oh, that's really nice. And I've got quite a bit on ore right now. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. It's 7. What did I just spend? 3? Yeah, it's 7. So I had that all the way at the top. Let's bring that down to 3. Let's bring this down to 3. And let's bring this down to 2. Ugh, that's kind of gross. But we're going to go ahead and make our capital city level 3. That was kind of painful to figure out. But that's going to allow me to cap this thing out. And now I'm ready. I'm kind of ready to end the game, but not really, because I'm probably not going to have enough points. I'd have to get all my towers built out, but now I can build up to 3 towers. I can also hold an extra spell, which is kind of cool. And then, you know, other stuff's got other powerful abilities, so we're just gonna go with that. Let's go and see what the next solo action is. And this is to build. Of course, it's the exact one that I just took. I knew that was going to happen. So they would like to build a tower, but they can't. They can't build an air vessel or a sea vessel, so this is actually going to fail. And this is on the shaman, and the shaman wants to move northwest. So he is over here. He's going to want to move northwest. Looking at kind of the center of that land and northwest. I guess it would hit this. It would hit this swamp area here. So he's just going to move up 1. At this point, I think I'm just gonna cast. I don't know. Maybe they'll get that recruit action for me. If I cast, I can summon, and I'm hoping the recruit next, and I can get my galleon out. But we'll see what happens. This will at least give me a point. So we'll go up one more point. They're at 18. I'm at 2. We'll spend 2 mana, and we'll get our last serf. And we're gonna put him. I think we're gonna put him up here, and then we're just gonna chance it on seeing what this token is. And it's an ore. Ore. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right. All right. So let's see. They're gonna do their last action then, aren't they? And it is a recruit. It is indeed a recruit. So they're going to get a warrior, their last warrior. They're about to start putting towers out because their serfs are going to start showing up. So this is going to go out with the berserker. It can't land in the berserker's land over there in that weird spot that it can't show up at. So it's going to go into the capital city. And it's going to hang out with, I'm just going to put on the board with this one. It's going to hang out next to him. He's going to kind of watch the grounds while the other one's watching the top. All right. So now we are, let's see. Oh, so that is the recruit. So now I can follow that, and I can put my serf over there, and I can spend 2 ore, 1, 2, and 2 food, 1, 2. And we can get our galleon out on the board, and that's going to show up docked at our capital city, our giant capital city over here. And now that's ready to do stuff. Okay, cool. So let's see what we gain here. We're going to get, so I've got, now I've got 2 coming from this land and 2 coming from that land for mana. So I'm going to get 4 mana. I'll be at 5. I'm going to get 1, 2 ore up here, and we'll get 2 ore here. So that'll be 4 ore. And we'll be at 6. And with food, we get, is this got the 2? Yeah. So this one's giving me 5, and then this one's giving me 2, so we'll get 7 food. That's kind of keeping my resources even. We got a pretty good economy going on here for the most part. I do, before I forget, I'm going to take a spell card, and I'm going to rotate this before I forget. I am at level 3, so I can hang on to this. This is another summon cast ability, so I'm probably going to be throwing that one away because I don't even have any serfs to summon anymore. I think it says you take it from your supply, so I'm assuming it's not from like the supply on the board. All these cards are going to go away. They are going to gain 2 food, so they'll be at 10 food again. And yeah, I think that's ready to go for the next round. Alright, so let's see what their first action is going to be, is to build. I will probably follow that one. So they're going to spend 4 ore. They're going to go up there. This is kind of a timer track. You can kind of think of it too, because if they get to the very end, it triggers the end game. And then we'll finish that round in one more round if that happens. But now I can follow this, and so I don't see why not to follow. And I really want the mage out, but honestly, I think being able to build the towers is going to be pretty darn nice to have. I'm honestly thinking at this point of going and researching too and getting more spells. But this is also great because having built this, now my serfs are going to be producing mana in that land. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just start with the tavern. Okay, so I think I'm going to, for my build following action, is I'm going to go to the tavern over here. I've already got my serf in that build spot, and so I'll spend the 3, 1, 2, 3, or and the reason why I'm doing this too is because I'm at level 3 on my capital city, all my plains regions are going to be producing 2 mana, so they're kind of doubling up on resources. And now my towers too only cost they only cost 1 basically. Well, they cost a -2 or to build. Towers are dependent on how far away they are from your capital city. So that's really good. I think I'm gonna do that. I think that's gonna be the more useful one to go after. All right. So as far as my actual action goes for the round, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cast, and I'm gonna cast that recall, and have to spend 1 mana for each unit I pull back. I'm gonna get 1 point for doing this. And I think I'm gonna take 2 of my serfs back. 1, 2. I'd almost take back a 3rd one, but I think 2's enough. I need to just have kind of space to follow and then be able to build these other 2 locations. So off of the board here, I think I'm going to take this one back, and I think well, there's this one over here that's not doing anything anyways. So I think we'll take both of those back. I spent my 2 mana for it, and that'll go into the trash pile. And I could follow that with a march or something, but I don't think I really. I could go ahead and fly some people off of the. Yeah, you know, they're probably okay where they're at. I could fly this guy out and kind of get him back to the capital city as well, but he's producing 2 resources where he's at. I'm kind of thinking I almost need more ore at this point. So, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it for right now. We're gonna see what the next what they do. So we do have to shuffle these cards up. Shuffle complete. All right, Shaman wants to attack once more. He's still a little too far away over here. But he's gonna want to move 1. He wants to move north, and I think he's just gonna end up going back over here. He'll gain an ore from doing that. I think I'm going to then research. Actually, I rarely ever do this action, but my spells just kind of suck. So I'm gonna draw 3 spells. I'm still hoping to be able to follow with a surf after this. So we're drawing 3 new spells. So we have Courage. We can place 1 of your warriors with a hero from your supply. Rift. You can select any 2 face-down exploration tokens anywhere on the board, reveal them, or resolve their effects. That's pretty nice. And Fireball is super nice. Before tactic cards are chosen, destroy up to 2 warriors or serfs. That'd be really good if I could get over there and kill those warriors before they start getting serfs out. So I like that quite a bit. I don't need my old summon card anymore, so I'm definitely going to get rid of that. My wish card was really good. It's still really good as a defensive ability, just to keep my guys from getting killed and gaining resources. But I'm kind of getting to that end point of the game here where I'm building everything. I'm about to start popping towers down. I was really hoping I'd get the one that lets you build twice in a row. Okay, so I got to get rid of at least 1 more card. Yeah, I don't really care about the Rift too much, I don't think. I mean, it's kind of nice, but I'm not going for an exploration in game, so we'll keep the Fireball. Courage. Replace 1 of your warriors with a hero. I mean, that's pretty darn nice. I still have a warrior, do I? Yes, I do still have a warrior. That is pretty nice. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep that, I believe so. All right, so let's see what they do. They are going to build, and I cannot follow. So they want to build a tower, so this is going to fail, and we're going to look at the Berserker again. So now the Berserker is finally going to move around a little bit. So she undocks for free, and she's moving northwest again. So following that route, she goes clockwise, so she'll end up going up in the corner up here. She'll take this, get a point. Assuming I'm doing this properly. She wants to go northwest again. And she's just going to be kind of stuck over here at this point. This is the goofy thing about this solo, because northwest from the center of this location over here, I'm having to reach all the way across the table. It's kind of going up off the board, so you have to wrap back around. It'd end up landing up over here. And then it's just going to try to dock northwest from the center of this, which I'm assuming is about right there. And it's just going to end up landing over in that ore spot. Actually, so I just double checked that. So I think she actually can use the graticals. So if she was to use the graticals, she'd still go northwest up here for her first movement. And then as she goes northwest, she'd end up going through over here and picking this one up. And I think we're going to go into battle at that point, so she get another point for going into that. And continuing northwest, she's going to end up landing right over here with my surf. So now I can't really do a lot. I mean, I could gather everybody up in there for this battle, but I'm probably just going to let that surf die, because I don't really have, this is the first time we're actually going into battle in the game. And I think I messed this up earlier, because I get confused with this the sea. I might have messed that up earlier with the graticals and stuff, because the sea and air vessels they're a little different with the way that they can use stuff on the board. And so that may have been one of my big rule mess ups of this game, one of the many, I'm sure. But I'm pretty sure that's how that was supposed to actually work, was that she follows the graticals, so she wraps around the board to continue on for that second movement. So and then again, that would land her right where she's at. I don't know if there's any. I mean, I've kind of spent everything at this point to be able to actually do combat with, because I wasn't expecting it. I don't really have anything great. I could conscript people in. My airship's only worth 2, and I've only got serfs, so they're only worth 1 apiece. They have like a natural, or their natural attack right now is 3 plus the 3 of the ship. So even if I brought everybody in, it would just not really be worthwhile. So I think what I could do is just retreat, but then I have to get -2 points for it. So and she has 1. Yeah, I don't really have anything good to use, because I'm almost out of mana. So all I'm going to do is just fight. And the way this works is that they would draw a card, and they'd have an extra 2 attack, is kind of what's going on. And right now, there's bonuses that they're getting, like the warriors are worth +1, so the warrior's worth 3. It's the berserker, correct? Yeah, so I mean, she would totally beat me. She has like 8, I think. Because yeah, 3 from the croc, 3 from the warrior, and 2 from herself. And the warrior's actually 1 additional one. Well, that's why it's 3 plus 2. Anyways, my serf is now killed. She does gain 1 extra point just for initiating the combat. Now I've got another serf to possibly summon later. Yeah, and that was an uneventful battle. So I think we're at the end at this point. Yeah, I can't follow or anything like that. So we look at what resources we're gaining, and we're going to gain still 5, 6, 7 foods, so our food's going to be capped out. We're going to gain 2 mana from here, as well as 2 mana from each of the places that we are in the plains region. So we're actually going to get 6 mana all at once, which is really nice. And then now that she knocked us out of the ore, we're unfortunately only gaining 2 ore, so we're at 5 ore. These are going to come back. We've got a lot of serfs to use, and suddenly I'm kind of low on ore. And I also have this stupid croc lady over here in my space. So she gained an ore. I don't know if I marked that. I'm going to go ahead and give it to her though. She gained an ore from that, and another ore from the shaman, and then 1 food as well. And the food's capped. Okay. I do get to get another spell to look at. Cancel spell. You can stop an enemy spell and discard it to the spell discard pile, including scribed spells. That player still pays mana and gains its point value. It's probably not that important. Yeah, probably not too important. Nah, I don't think it's too important. I'm gonna toss that. What I think I'd like to do, I definitely want to get. I want to get some people out to attack with, and I know she's not going to be doing. I know I'm going to have to do builds on my own. Let's go ahead and see what the solo opponent's going to do first, because that's the first thing that happens. Attack. The chieftain wants to attack 2 away. So yeah, they are gonna be able to move to. They're gonna go through the center location here, and be in 1 and 2 and get over to me. They're gonna pick up these 2 sea exploration tokens, gaining 2 more points, just running away with me on the points. And now they're fighting the surf. So I'm kind of in a similar position, except now I have resources to spend. The wish would be kind of nice because I could basically trade out resources for it. So we'll pay for this wish. We'll spend 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll gain 2 points. I'm not going through the full combat of like drawing cards out, because this is going to remove the actual units that are going into combat. They are going to gain a combat point though, I believe, for initiating combat, and then they would gain an ore, but they're at the top as it is. And then let's see. So I'll bring this guy back over here, and I can gain 6 resources now. So I kind of want to have the mana back. I kind of just get like 3 mana and 3 ore, I think. 1, 2, 3. I think that's probably good. I think that's probably good. Oh, I think I forgot to also turn this up 1 as well. All right, it's getting sweaty over here. Getting real sweaty. It's a sweaty game. So now I've got an action to do. And what I'm going to do then is, I think I'm going to take a build action, because I know their builds are in their discard pile right now as far as following goes. I want to be able to start getting these guys out on the board. Really want my paladin to be able to come out. And he also makes other heroes cost 2 fewer resources to recruit, because I'm at the top here. So let's do this build action. That's going to be 3, 1, 2, 3, and we'll have to spin a surf over there. Okay, let's see what they do next. They're going to probably recruit. I bet it's a recruit. Yeah, can you believe it? They are going to do their first surf. which kind of sucks because that means they're going to be building towers. So going over here, that's the shaman, and he did recruit a serf, and now we've got a serf over in a actual worker location. Not great, not great. I do get to follow that action, so I will do that, and I'll get my paladin out, I believe. So that's going to be 3 food, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2 ore. And we finally have a hero out on the board. I'm just going to place him. I'm just going to place him right here in this little boat, and he can hang out right there for right now. He can move out of there though freely. It is docked with my courtyard, so so now I've got one more thing to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this courage. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to march first, and let's pop it in. Let's just do the overview here. I'm going to march first because I want to march this one warrior that I have back in over here, and I can spend 3 mana to just man, I wonder if that's even the best thing to do right now, because I kind of need to get my just get my people away from all this crap that's going on over there. I kind of need to just move them out. I could I could get them all the way over here. They'd have to contend with this guy, but they'd be producing ore at least. But I don't need a ton of ore right now, except for building towers. But I'm not going to be able to do that this round. My thought was to move this guy in over here and then follow the action with a cast to turn him into a hero. That would save me 3 food because he's 2 cheaper. Yeah, it's still not a bad idea to have the swashbuckler out. The cool thing about the swashbuckler is if she defeats a vessel, she'll capture it, which would be really, really good in this game. So yeah, let's do that. Let's get her out. It's only going to cost 3 food. 1, 2, 3. This is following with the cast action, and that was 1, 2, 3 mana. I go up 1 for using that. I replace this warrior with the swashbuckler, and we'll just pop her right in the ship. So now they're kind of ready to fight. Let's see what the next thing they're going to do is. Whoops. And they're going to recruit again, so that's going to automatically be a serf. And that's going to go in with the berserker. And the berserker is all the way up here, so that's going to give them even more ore to deal with. So now we're at the end. I'm going to go ahead and get my spell card just before I forget about it. It's another recall. So that's a pretty nice one for right now, especially with how everybody's getting gathered up on me. Because I can recall my ship back too, which should be really nice. So I do still have 2 planes, and that one's 5, this one's 2, so that's 7 food. It's going to cap me out on food, and then I'll get another 4 mana for that too, because man, you really get some good abilities once you get your capital city up to level 3. And then I guess I'll get another 2 mana. I'd get capped out on mana at that point, so now I just need ore. Oh goodness. Okay, so I think that's me done. They are going to get they're going to get 2 ore over here and 2 ore over there. So their ore is already at the top, so they're not going to gain anything. They would have gained a 3rd ore or another 5th ore over there from the chieftain as well. But now I'm wanting to get ready to attack. I think it's time to start getting some retribution if I can. These are going to go over here out of the way, and we actually are at the last card because we had to pull one off for that attack earlier. I think I actually was supposed to pull off one for that cast card. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I actually was supposed to pull that off or not, because I cast, so I kind of ended the battle before it happened. But he initiated the battle, so that was the only way I got to do that cast. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they were supposed to have actually taken. They may have supposed to have taken a card off of their pile, but I don't think it's too big of a deal. So, all right. I think that's all set. We'll see what they do. We're getting kind of closer to the end here. So they are going to recruit yet again, and then we'll put another serf over with the chieftain. So that's popping him right in the ship with him. Ooh, hey buddy. Okay, so now we'd really like to fight. Okay, I think I do want to sail. Yes, I do believe I want to sail. And he's going to go for 1 out into the sea, 2, 3, and 4 to dock into this land to fight. Okay. So now we got a big cluster going on over there. And then I think I'm going to do a big battle here. And I'm kind of thinking I want to do just a big attack against them and try to charge them. Charging is the biggest attack that you'll see over here. It costs 6 mana, and you get an extra 5. And if they happen to draw a first strike as their defense card, then I'll get an extra +2. The other ones is I could do something like siege or whatever, but I'm not really. This is best against if you're going against like buildings or whatever. I think I'm gonna charge, and I'm gonna get ready to do my fireball as well. So it's gonna be like all my mana. That's literally all my mana to do this. So I'm kind of putting all my eggs in one basket here. So let's see. They're gonna draw one of these cards, and we'll see what it is for attack. So their defense is conscript, so my card doesn't do anything against that, but they're adding +5 to their attack. Now I'm going to pay for my fireball. I'm just going to pull this in the overview here. Pay for my fireball for 4. That'll give me 2 points. I also gain a point just from initiating that combat, so let's not forget that. And it says this before tactic cards are chosen. You destroy up to 2 warriors or serfs. It doesn't really matter because they don't choose any. So these guys are both going to be dead. So we'll just put those back into their supply. So now we have to do the fun thing of adding up all of the combat values. So currently I have my airship has 2. The swashbuckler has 2, plus she adds 1 if she's on a vessel, which she is. So that's 5. And then I have another 4 from my paladin. So that's 9. Plus 5 is 14 from my charge. So I've got a total of 14. They have 2 on the berserker. They have 5 from the card that they drew, so that's 7. And then they have 3 from the croc, which would be 10. And nothing else is giving them extra defense or extra power. So they do lose the battle. And the way this works is that you would add up the natural values, the values that are just printed on the board, which would be 5 for them, and you divide that by 2, rounding up, so it would be 3. They have to lose 3, basically 3 power worth of people. So they would lose their ship first, but it's basically the same thing as if both of them got lost, because they never lose their heroes. They just go back to their courtyard, and then the ship would be destroyed at that point. yeah, and then before I forget to, I gained 3 points from using the charge. I also have to lose all of my mana to do that, but at least I'm gaining some points. I'm kind of starting to get back up there a little bit. So you do have to do some combat against the solo opponent to actually get anywhere, but now we are controlling that mountain region up there, and that wasn't too bad in the end of it. I'm out of mana. I kind of need to get ready to get mana again. So let's see what they do. They're going to build. So they want to build a tower where the shaman's at, and they can actually do this because they do have a whatchamacallit, the surf there. And that's the first thing they want to build, and so that will cost them 1 for every space away it is from their capital city. So it's like I don't think we. I think you would count the desert as just being 1, so I think it would only cost them 2 to get over there. So it's only 2 ore, so they lose 2 ore to do that. And now that spot's pretty beefed up. I definitely don't want to go over there and attack. And now I got to figure out what exactly it is I'm going to do. Well, I know one thing I definitely want to do is I want to follow that action with a build. I want to build this university. That's going to cost me 3 ore. 1, 2, 3 ore. All my mana is gone. So I do kind of want to get somewhere where I can start producing those resources again. So looking at this, like I could march or whatever and send the surf out to produce resources, or I could just tax right now. Taxing wouldn't be too bad. Can't follow it or anything like that, but there's not too much else I could do. I could well, I can't cast. I don't have any mana right now, so I'm kind of strapped at the moment. Taxing wouldn't be too bad. They're probably going to draw a tax right after I do this, but yeah, I think taxing wouldn't be too bad to do right now because I could get 4 ore immediately from that. Otherwise, I'd get basically 2 ore next round if I don't tax right now. Yeah. Otherwise, I would have to like fly some people over or something like that. Now, if I fly somebody, if I fly a yeah, you know, if I fly over and I take out the let's see, I don't need food right now. I don't want to fly over and get into combat with this guy, but I could fly and take this because this is going to also produce 2, so it'll kind of produce 4 on its own if I just take the 1. I mean, I could get real ballsy and bring it all the way down over here, but then it's pretty close to being able to be attacked. I don't really like that because I'm probably going to get attacked quickly, I feel like, sitting out right over here. So I don't like that spot, but it will... Could produce me more ore though, and give me another one of these to contend with. And I might just get into combat and kill whoever it is afterwards. I don't think they're going to attack me immediately because it's going to be the berserker going next. But I do want to keep 1 person over here because I want to be able to gain the extra 2 mana. So if I march first, I could do a march follow action or consider that be the first action. I could march somebody over there to be adjacent because it's adjacent with it. Well, what I could just do is cast. No, I can't cast because I don't have any mana. I spent it all during the combat. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I would like to be able to produce as much ore as I can. Why am I even really I guess I'm only wanting to produce ore to make towers. which are nice because they do give you a good bit of extra points. So I'm already producing 1 ore up there. If I fly that guy down, I could go 1, 2, and 3. I could land over here and at least be kind of 1, 2. Yeah, wait. Yeah, I'm in this land, so I can go 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, I could land up over here. I don't think that's bad. We'll get another little token over here as well. So let's take a look and see what that is. As an ore. That's exactly what I needed. So I'll get to gain 1 ore as well with that action. All right. I think that's not bad. Let's see what the last thing is that the Berserker is going to then do. They are going to tax, and now I can't tax, but they're basically going to get their resources filled up pretty well. They're going to get all the way up to the top with the ore. They're going to get all the way to the top with food, and then they're going to get to mana, and then this is all going to cycle around. Yeah, of course that's going to happen right after I can't follow it, but I think I still did what I needed to do. Technically got 1 more ore than I would have, I believe. Well, no, I guess I didn't, but whatever, it doesn't matter. At least I'm in a good position for a further round. All right, so we're going to produce 1, 2, 3, and 4 ore over here, and a 5th one from the top. We're going to produce 2 and 2 food. We're full of food, but we're going to produce 4 mana from that. Okay. Everything is built. They are not anywhere that they're going to make mana at, and everything else is capped, so they're done with that. We will get a spell card. It is Courage. It's the same thing where you can replace a warrior with a hero. Not too useful just yet. All right. So I think we're all set for the beginning of this next round. We're going to draw another enemy card. It is an attack with the chieftain, and it's going to move to somewhere that he can kill people. So I'm assuming 1, 2. It doesn't really matter where he goes, so I guess I can kind of pick at this point. Now he would have to go over here, I think, actually, because he's moving 2 to attack. So 2 to attack. He's going to gain a point from attacking. I don't think I'm going to do anything. I think I'm just going to let that guy die. I don't feel like there's anything worth doing. Oh, I could conscript. Oh, and I forgot that my swashbuckler actually took over their ship earlier. So sorry, I'm not showing that on the top here. I forgot that this ship was actually not supposed to have gone away. I was supposed to have actually kept it there because the swashbuckler has a special ability that says when they defeat an enemy vessel, she captures and pilots it until it's destroyed, or she leaves it. So yeah, so I totally am going to get into this battle, I think, because I can conscript both of those people over here. Now he's going to have his surf is +1, so he's got 2 with this, and 4 with this is 6, and then the dragon itself is another 2, so that's 8 that he's got just starting off, and +1 for attacking, so he's got 9. If I bring in both of those ships, I have 3, and 3 is 6, plus my 2 characters is 10, and 12 total. 12, 13, because 13 and 14 actually, and then 15 because of the, yeah, so we're definitely going to conscript those guys. It's going to cost me a total of 4. And they're all going to come into this battle. Because they are technically on the same continent. It does say move any units. It says move any units. I'm wondering if it means that the because I think the vessels are like units. So I mean, you use them in combat. I would assume that the vessels count as units. So now we go into this battle. I'm going to draw their card off. It's a 4. And they're attacking with charge. I don't get any bonuses off of that, so it's 4. So what did we say they had? We said they had 4 from the chieftain, 2 from this serf because he has an extra power up of 1. So that's 6, and then 8 from the dragon plus 4 is 12. I think I have it before I even, well, I have to get it from these. So I had 3 and 3 is 6, 10, 12, and 13, 14, and 15 because there is a serf there as well. I have the maximum amount of units that I can have in that region. So they lose, and they have their natural value then is 4 with the chieftain, 1 with the serf, and 2 with the dragon. So that's 7 divided by 2, rounded up is 4. So they lose the serf. I could pilot the vessel and then return the ship to the supply. So I think I will do that. I'll pilot the vessel. I'm going to use up her ability. This guy's going to go back over here, and this serf's going to go back in the supply. This croc's going to go back in the supply. Okay, not bad. And I did a total of 4 units, so I actually get 4 points for that. For my conscripts. Yep, that's all legal, I believe. Cool, so we have captured the dragon. We're on a ship. We're not doing too bad at the moment. Let's see what we're going to do. I think I'm just going to recruit the mage and go ahead and get him on the board. I'm tired of fiddling around with waiting for these guys to see if they're going to get to follow or not. So the mage, it's 2 less because I have the level 3 with the paladin out. Well, I don't have to have the paladin out, I just have the cathedral at the capital level 3, and it costs 2 fewer. So we'll spend 3 food, 1, 2, 3 food. And we'll pull out our mage. We'll just pop him onto the top of the capital. He'll hang out right there. Let's see what they're going to do for their next one. It is to attack again. The shaman wants to attack. The shaman, he can move. He's going to be able to move 2. He just has to go down 1, and then he wraps around the ferry route to jump into battle over here. Okay, now I got to figure out if I'm going to actually deal with this or just eat it. Alright, so I'm definitely not going to be able to win this in any manner. I think I'm going to play the retreat card, and this is saying that if you have to spend 2 food, you move all your units together either to the capital city or to one region with a tower you control. You lose 2 victory points, which kind of sucks, but I really don't want to have to lose my vessel if I can help it. So let's see what they actually draw for their card. I'm not going to be playing any spells or anything like that. So their card is First Strike, which is a really awesome thing, and I was kind of hoping that this was going to happen, because you can't really see it real well here, but it says you lose no victory points if they reveal conscripts for First Strike. And I was kind of looking at the cards they've drawn already before I picked that too, because I was kind of hoping that maybe I wouldn't lose my 2 points. However, I do have to lose 2 food either way. These units will then come in over here to the capital city. I'll just put the surf in over here just so it doesn't get confused. We'll pop him in there though, because he's probably going to stay in there after this. They are going to gain an ore, which they're at the top already, so it doesn't matter. Now the shaman does have a special ability if they end their movement, and it's next to any player units, the player must discard 2 resources. So I have to discard 2 resources. What do I want to discard? I don't really know. I don't need a ton of ore at the very moment, so maybe I'll go ahead and lose 2 ore. Yeah, and then that's done with that. So we've got 1 more action for this round. Before I forget to, I'm going to move the marker up 1 because I don't think I moved that up for them attacking me. I don't think I did. And I did realize that I was supposed to have shuffled up that last card to see what it ended up being when I played that retreat. So I may actually have supposed to have lost those 2 points. Let me fix that real quick. All right, let's see what it was. Hey, it was still first strike. Okay, so I'm staying legal. All right, I realized that because I knew I was going to have to draw or shuffle that deck afterwards. So what I'm thinking I want to do is, I think I want to just start getting my vessels and stuff over near this battle area, because I kind of want to just start getting people over, ready to conscript them over to fight here in a moment. So I'm kind of thinking I'm just going to move everybody over, and I might just move them. I can move them all into the capital area because I think that's legal enough to do. So I will go over here, and it doesn't really matter who I bring over because I'm going to fly and sail, I believe. And now I could cast and throw another surf out somewhere to gain me some more resources. That actually wouldn't be bad, because then I could get the double resources with the food and the mana too if I put them somewhere that's got land. So maybe I'll actually do that. Cast as well, so I could just fly over here and we'll get our swashbuckler over here, because she might pick up this guy. So I'm kind of thinking, yeah, she might end up picking him up. This is kind of a weird situation, having all these flying vessels in the same land together. And then with the cast, yeah, I'll spend 2 mana. Boop, boop. And summon. I'll summon out one of these. I guess it's the only other one that I can, and I think I'm going to put him, I hope he doesn't just die right away, but I'm going to bring him in over here, and we'll flip this over, see what it is. It doesn't look good. It is a Wandering Knight, which is this one over here. It says, at a secluded tavern, a war-weary deserter wistfully recounts tales many great battles across Ogmore. A mere token would likely coerce him back into the fray. You may immediately pay 1 ore to place a warrior from your supply in this region. Yeah, why not? Let's do that. So we'll go ahead and spend an ore, and we'll put a warrior right over there. So instead of being in danger, he is even more protected. Okay, so I think that's me done. Let's see what they're going to do. They are going to build. They do want to build a tower. This is where the Berserker's at. This is in the capital region, so that's not going to happen. So they're going to build that that sea vessel, because it's the only thing they can build, because I've taken over their air vessel. So they're going to spend 2 food and 2 ore. So these will both go down to 8. And they'll get their croc back out. And then this is going to place over in the capital city, which is where the Berserker is currently at right now. I'm just going to leave her in there. She may or may not be in there at the end of this if the Chieftain ends up taking it before she does. Okay, so I think that's... now I could follow that build action, but I don't have anything to actually... Well, I could build... Yeah, I could build a tower. I could totally build a tower. So let's go ahead and do it. It'll give me even more food, and then I can get some points for this at the end of the game. So my towers cost 2 less if I build it, according to this, if I build it in a plains region, the yellow regions. I've definitely got serfs in there. Let's see. It's according to how far away it is. So if I went the furthest one, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it would cost me 4 ore. So I can't afford that one. But 1, 2, 3, 4. I could totally afford that one right over there. Yeah, I don't. I mean, it's a 2-point difference, but by the end of the game, I don't know if we'll actually get over there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to place a tower in right here. Why not? And that'll only cost me 2 ore. Okay, so let's go ahead and collect resources then. So now I'll get 2 for this and 2 for this. This one will actually give me 4 because this is 2 for the tower plus control and plus the thing. So that's a total of 8 food. So I jumped up my food pretty far just then. And then I also gain 2 mana for each of those locations. So I get another 6 mana. That puts that all the way up to 8. And what else do we got here? We did have 2 mana over here as well. So mana is at the top. That's where I like it to be. All right, top of the order. All the stuff comes back off. We turn our spell over, and I gain a spell, which is Scavenge. Collect 4 resources of your choice in any combination. Definitely nice to have in my pocket. Still hold 3, so we'll hold on to that. Let's see what the solo is going to do. They are going to build, which isn't great for points for me. It's good for them. So it's going to pay 5 or... Oh, I forgot to give them their resources. They would have gained 1 ore as well. Oh, plus 2 because they have the tower, so their ore would have been at the top. So now they're going to spend 5 of that, so they're going to be down to 5. And this is going to move over. Now it says orcs gain an additional point each time they start a battle. Ugh. Alright, so we definitely don't want them starting battles. And they, I forgot to reset all my stuff. So I could follow that. What would I do? Build a tower right next to myself? It's not ideal, but it would be free. It'd be 1 more tower on the board. I do want to initiate this battle though. So, is there anything I can actually do? I can't do any great combat right now. I don't want the shaman to initiate battle. So what I probably want to do is I probably want to sail this guy over here and then conscript the other ones into the battle. So I'm kind of thinking. Okay, so this is going to be a complicated battle. The paladin is in the galleon. The galleon has a special ability that it can attack from the sea, and so if I end in a sea region, I can attack into this land region, and then I could also conscript people into the land region without going over the 5 unit and 1 region limit. So I think I'm going to do that. It's troublesome dealing with this, but we'll have to see what that is. Maybe it'll be good for us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first I'm going to sail, and I'm going to bring this this guy with me. We're going to come in and stop over in this. This is all getting super crowded, so it's going to be really hard to see. But I'm going to stop in over here as the first thing. So we're going to flip this over. Hey, it's just resources. That's excellent. I don't know where that token just went. I heard it rattle. There it is. It's just one food and one ore, which is excellent. So we'll get those two things. And then I'm going to start the battle. So it's hard to see, but he's actually connected to this red region right here within the sea region. So he's going to start a battle adjacent. He gets +1 for that. So let me go ahead and give myself a point just for starting the battle before I forget that. And now I am going to be conscripting because I got a lot of food to spend. It's going to give me a lot of points as well. A lot of points. This is kind of rigging the game here a little bit. So 1 point per unit. So we'll have to spend 3 to move these guys in, 4 to move this one in, and I might as well, while that one's moving, I'll just bring a surf in there. I don't know why not. So this is 5 units in this land region, but these guys are out in sea attacking. So from the way I see it, they're shooting with cannons, and these guys are taking up the land from the rear. So they're doing a big, massive battle in against the shaman. Let's flip over and see what the shaman's card is. Its defense is first strike, so no extra things about that, but he gets 4 attack power with that. Now, each of his warriors right now is gaining 3, or they're at 3, so that's 6. And the surf is also at a +1, so it's 2, so that's 8. And the shaman is at 3, so that's 11. +4 is whatever that is, 15. I can't add at this point. This is very late in the night that I'm playing this. It's like 3 in the morning. We've got 4 from this guy, 3 from the barge, and 1 from this. So that's a total of 8. Plus he gets 1 for having a surf in his army. So that's 9. She is at 2 + 1, so she's at 3 because she's on a vessel. The vessel itself has 2, so it's 5. The mage has got 3, so that's another 8. And 8, and then 9, 10, 11 with this, so 11. I mean, I don't need to figure it out. I'm way over there on being able to defeat these guys. So their natural amount here is 2, 2, 1, 5, and 6, 7, 8. So they have to lose a total of 4 units, or 4 powers worth of units. So that's this one. They lose the lower ones first, so this would be at 3 at this point, and the 4th one has to come off, so it does actually kill all of them, which is very nice. I feel like I'm cheating by what I just did, but I don't think I actually did. And then he would just go back to his capital just like he would if he died. So I had to spend 5 food for that, which gained me 5 points. That's ridiculous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's like a rare occurrence. You probably only do that with the humans attacking in the way that I did right there. So that was a really, really cool battle, the way that happened. This guy's actually going to give me 2 food, this barge, by being out at sea too. I guess he goes fishing. So this surf will end up hanging out on that ore spot over there too. So now we're going to be producing quite a bit of ore where we're at. and we just really won a crucial battle there, getting that guy out of the way. So that was really nice. So let's see what they end up doing after this. I think that was everything I did. Yeah, I didn't have to do anything else. Okay. So let's go to the next one. He wants to tax. Tax. So they are going to gain, it's 4 food. So the food goes all the way to the top. It's 3 mana, so mana's all the way top, and 2 ore, 1, 2 ore. And then I'll swap these all around. Notice this isn't on camera right now, but there it is. I swapped them around. Okay. And then I can follow if I want to. Do I want to have followed? I would be following the original order of these. I could follow for 2 ore. I guess that's not terrible. It might allow me to build. So I'll follow for 2 ore. Okay. Now what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Oh, I forgot to that the tax action lets him move one. So she's actually going to stay in the courtyard. The shaman will take over that. And I guess he'll take a warrior with him. Wow. Okay, so he's already beefed right back up. So he comes out into the sea region for free, and he wants to move east. So he's going to go east. 1, 2. And he's going to pick up this token over here and go up a point. And now for the third one, he's going east. Where does he land? Okay. Center of the, roughly center. I think because this ore is sticking out right here, this like mountain region has got like this little tiny piece that's sticking out, he's actually going to move in and attack. Ugh. Okay, I thought we were done with this. And I can't bring my galleon in there now, so now I'm kind of stuck fighting where I'm at. This is okay. This is okay. I think we'll be okay. I'm gonna figure out some math in my head, and I'll come right back. Okay, I think I've done my math. So the solo opponent is gonna have to shuffle for their draw because they're at the last card in their deck. I think I'm going to play my charge. I've got a lot of mana right now. I don't see any good reason to not do it. It'll add +5. I forgot that because I'm at level 3 with the flying ship, it adds an extra +2 to the battle. So right now, I have between the swashbuckler with her ability is adding 3. The mage is adding 3, so that's 6. The dragon is adding 2, so that's 8. And then this flying vessel is another 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 4. And then I do have a surf in here as well. So that's 13. So if I throw charge in there, there's pretty much no way he can win. I probably don't even need to do charge. I could probably do like, I can't do C. I kind of need to do charge because I need to make sure that I get enough combat. So so it doesn't really matter what we draw here. We'll just flip it over. It's recruit. It is a siege attack. Yeah, it's +5. And yeah, I don't get anything special for that. So it's adding 5 to what is otherwise 9 on this attack. Oh. Yeah, no, they're not moving to attack, so yeah, this would still happen, I believe. Okay, yeah. I had a moment where I was like, wait, would they even attack? Because I'm already like above them on the natural level of units. But it wasn't an attack action they're doing. They just did movement and landed into an attack. So they only have 9 on their thing, so they have 14. And I had like at least 12 or more over for, what I say, 6, 8, 4, 12, 13. So I've got, 8 18 on my attack, so there's no way that they're getting through that. I did have to spend 6 mana to do that, so that's put me down to 4. I cannot even remember if I gave him a point for attacking, but I'm going to move him up 1 just in case I forgot. And I'll gain 3 for that attack. Now he's going to have a natural value of 3 and 2 and 3. So that's 8 minus, so divided by 2 is 4, so he has to lose 4 points. So he's going to lose these 2 units. And the shaman can go back to his house and cry about it. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all good. I also forgot, or I didn't see this until just right now. I gained 2 points with the paladin if it wins a battle and at least 1 serf is in the army. So that would have happened on the last battle. I gained like 7 points on that last battle. That was like a ridiculous amount of points to get on a battle. Okay. It's crazy. It's getting crazy. All right. So where are we at? I think it's my turn at this point. And I think I'm just going to do a simple march action. I'm going to march. I'm just going to bring this serf out, and I'm gonna put him like down here. I think he can go 1, 2, and yeah, and just end up right here. That'll give me another point to build at later, and it'll give me more mana and everything. Whatever. We'll see what happens. It's kind of getting down to it at this point. Let's see what the solo does for their last action. All that craziness happened from taxing. You got some crazy drama from taxing earlier. So they're going to recruit. They want to do their air vessel. They can't because I'm controlling it. So they're going to do their sea vessel again, and that is going to be 2 food and 2 ore. And that will put this out over, where are we? So we're putting it by the Berserker. So she's back to having the ship rebuilt already. All right, so now I think we're at the end of that round. We're going to get a pretty fair amount of resources at this point. I think we're going to kind of cap out because we're going to get at least 8 food, which is also in 4 different regions, so it's going to be 8 mana, so those are going to cap out for me. And the ore, I've got 2 from this ship, and then 2 from control. I got 1 from control and 1 from this serf, so I'll get an extra 4 ore, so that's almost capped out as well. All right, and then everybody has been getting beat up over here, so they're just stuck over in the courtyard because I'm kind of at that end game of just having a lot of power at this point. So they're not going to gain anything, which is great. I need to kind of finish this up before they get any more points from leveling up their capital city. That's where they get a lot of points from doing that. So what can I do to finish this up? I need to build stuff, and I could build 2 towers. Otherwise I have to recruit all of my serfs and warriors, and then we still get another round after this. So the quickest way is probably going to be to go ahead and get my towers out, maybe, I think. So let's see what they do. Oh, before I do that, let's take a look and see what spell we just gained. Earthquake. Select 2 adjacent regions on the same continent. Any enemy players must with units in regions must choose to lose 2 powers worth of serf or warriors. That's really nice. I'll put that in place of courage. We don't need any more courage right now. We're pretty courageous at this point. All right. So they're going to take their card. Let's see. He's going to research. He wants to do the plague. So they're going to spend 2 and get a point. So they're at 29 now. But the spell doesn't actually reach me because it's going to be within 2 regions, and nobody's within 2 regions of their capital city right now. All right, I'm going back to me. I think I am going to actually follow that research action because I want to see if there's any good cards over here. It might let me build a tower or do something crazy. So we have Conjure, take a warrior from your supply and place it in any region. Mind Control, move any one enemy land unit 1, or combat enemy serfs and warriors are -1, including any that are conscripted, to a max of -5. Placing the warriors, not too bad. Yeah. Might take the warrior one. We'll take out the recall. Probably should have just stuck one of these in my scribe spots here. Move any one enemy land unit 1 space. Weaken could be kind of nice. I don't really think I need the scavenge anymore. I'm pretty good on making resources, so maybe we'll keep weaken. Mind Control would also potentially be really nice, especially if I want to like start a battle with them. Yeah, and otherwise with Earthquake I could just get rid of like 1 unit. That's great with Earthquake because you can send that pretty much anywhere on the board. You just can't attack their capital city with it. Yeah, I think I'll just throw away Mind Control. All right. So as far as what I'm actually going to be doing, I think I would probably I'd like to just get these towers built, and I can build for really cheap. So let's just build a tower. Let's just get that done. So I'm going to do that over here and pop in a tower. It's actually not going to cost me anything because it's too cheaper if it's on a plains region. They're like, the humans are kind of like the farmers, so they're all about taking over the plains. All right, I think that's done for that. We'll go ahead and go with the next enemy card. The shaman wants to attack. Of course he wants to attack. Can he attack from 2 spaces away? He actually can. And the thing is he needs to see if he wants. So shaman is back on his croc again, because this is kind of what happens with these guys. They get in a loop doing this stuff. 2 spaces away, he could walk over and attack this tower. And let's see, so he would also take this warrior with him. And I think that's where he wants to go, because he's got like 3, 6, 7, 8 natural power against this 2 and 3, so he'll definitely come over here and attack. And then he'll gain extra stuff as well. So let's go ahead and put his point up 1 before I forget to do that. And then let's see what we're going to do. All right, so I'm going to end up using conscripts again. And we're going to bring in these 3 units and this unit. So that'll be a total of 4. And yeah, I think that's all we're gonna do. We'll see what their card is that they draw for this. Ooh, it's an attack 8 with charge, and conscripts doesn't do anything against charge. So 8. So they have 3 with the shaman, 3 with the warrior, and 3 with the croc. So that's 9 plus 8. He's at 17 right now. Let's see what we've got. We've got 4 with this because he's attacking a vessel. And then there's 6 with the swashbuckler and the mage. And then 2 with the, so the 6 and this is 10, and then 2 with the dragon here. That would be 12. 13, 14, 15. Wow. Oh, I don't think it would have mattered. I would have spent this, but I don't think it's going to help me. I would have spent this other. I meant to do this. I just forgot to do it while we're. I'm kind of. It looks like I'm cheating, but I meant to spend this weaken card, but I don't think it's going to even help me enough. It'll decrease the combat by 1, and they're actually gaining 1 anyways, so that really doesn't. But I didn't mean to do that, so that would have happened. It would decrease the serfs and warriors by 1, but they gain 1 just for doing the attack. So again, they're at 6, 9. Oh gosh, why they had to draw the strongest attack card? 9 and 17. I had 4. Oh, this is 7. This tower is 7. So 4. So 4, and I'm gonna add these all up again because this is getting stupid. All right. So added this all up. They're actually, even with this weekend, which I actually didn't have to spend, I only have to spend half of it because of the mage there, so I only had to spend 2 for this. But even with that, it's 16 to 17, and they're beating me with the stupid croc and this shaman. So I have to lose my tower first. So basically I have to lose 7 points worth of natural power for these, the printed power, not the extra bits that they get. So 3 of it's coming from this tower. I think I have to lose towers first. And then I have to lose another 4 of it. So I could lose, what I'm kind of thinking to do is lose 1, like I'm going to lose the mage. And that'll be 3 more. And then I think I'll probably just lose the serf to make the extra 7. All of these will then come back to my courtyard area. So they're all piled up in the courtyard. They're all over the place. And this little happy guy, as they just gained 1 point for that attack. And what else did they get? They got, we already gave them their 1 point, so I think that's all they get. They get 1 food as well, so that'll go up. I, however, do get 2 points for having spent this and 4 for the con. So I actually gained 6 points. I got like, they actually still gave me a bunch of points for doing that. Because I had conscripted 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the spell 6. So that actually let me overtake them. So screw you, Shaman. Thank you for the points. So we'll have to get ready to go back into combat against them, which I could just go ahead and do that. I don't know. I don't know if that's smart. I might have to wait till another round. But they just shot my tower down, which stinks. And now I've got a serf to get back out on the board. So if I do go and attack them, I do have benefits with this guy, and I could also bring conscript the other ones back in, and I know he's going to have to shuffle, so I might as well go ahead and shuffle his cards while we're thinking about it. I am tempted to just go back in and attack him immediately right now, because if I do that, I can bring in some, but I don't know if it's enough. I'm going to think about that for a second. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is just cast, and I'll use that Earthquake. It'll cost me 4 mana, I'll get 2 points, and I can cause his warrior to die. So we'll go ahead and knock him down by 3 points. So that's out of the way at least. And then I'll get 2 points for that, so that's not too bad. Let's see what they do. The Berserker is gonna recruit. So it's gonna do a warrior. 1, 2. I'll bring that warrior I just killed right back, and he'll be hanging out with her over there at the capital. All right. So, all right. What do we got here? We're gonna be gaining a decent amount still. So we are gonna cap back out on food. And then we're going to get an additional 6 mana, so that's capped out, and I do get so I cap out on all my resources. They will get an additional food. I think I gave him the food for getting that. I may not have. If I did, whoops, sorry. It's going to be okay. I don't think it's going to really affect him much. But he did just gain it right now, and then he also gains 2 ore because he's got the tower over there. Okay. All right, so these come back, and all these go away. We get another spell that we just get to keep right away. Select one region you control and immediately gain double the resources you'd normally gain from it. Nice, early on, doesn't really matter so much right now. Okay, so let's see what they do. They're going to 2 attacks. So they're going to gain 4 mana, which caps them, 3 ore, which caps that, and 2 food, which caps that. It's like the perfect distribution. I'll rotate all these around. I'm obviously not going to follow that. I'm full too. What will I? Alright, I'm just going to go back in and knock that shaman out before he attacks me and gets his bonus for attacking. So I'm going to sail, and we're going to bring the ship over and do something similar to what we did before. So we'll come over, and we're not docked, we're just going to be off in the sea here to initiate this battle. I'm going to do conscripts again because this is gaining me so many points, and I've got so much food that I'm making. I'm going to bring in these 2, and this one will be 3. I kind of want to bring in a serf as well, so I'll just bring in the one that was in the courtyard. All right. Now, there's pretty much no way that they can defeat me there. I'll go ahead and move my conscripts down. Flip over this card. It's just 1. So he's only got 6, 7. I've got way more than that. I'm not even going to count it. I got 5 points because I initiated battle and spent 4 to conscript. And now I've got this serf down there hanging out so he can build back the tower that was destroyed. So this croc is just getting beat up over and over again, and the shaman is back at the courtyard. I'm going to go back over here. The shaman would love to attack again, and he cannot reach me at this point. So now he's just going to move 1, and he's going to move with the warrior. He wants to go south, but he can't, so he's going to go up to the ore spot here and gain an ore, but he's full on ore. Sorry, I didn't show that on camera. I'm kind of getting confused going back and forth on these camera angles. He couldn't attack me from where he was at, so he just moved right up here, going around the circle on the compass wheel. So now, what am I going to do? Yeah, I'm just going to build. Just going to do a build. We'll spend Oh, I don't have to spend anything. I'm building a tower. And I'll just go right back over where it was at. We will rebuild. Stronger, better. Enemy action card is to build as well. And that's where the Berserker's at. So it's going to make the Sea Vessel once more. And it's, again, I should have this memorized by now. They keep rebuilding it. And that'll pop in right next to the Berserker at this point. All right. So now we're done. And let's see, I get all the food I want. I'm capped on everything. They're going to get 3 ore. Their ore's all the way at the top. And now it's just this back and forth until I can get a tower built over there. So I'd really like to be able to, oh, I forgot to I gotta get it's a shield. This is just gives you an extra 3 when you're defending. Man. I'd really like to just get over there and build that last tower. I've got to get over onto their land to do it. So what I should do, I could just fly somebody over there and just get beat up and just take it and be okay. I think that's maybe what I'm going to do. I'm going to probably go that route. So let's bring our command tokens back. Let's bring all these back. Are we all the way back to shuffling again? Man, these decks have been going through. It. Yeah, because once I build that last tower, it'll initiate, and then we'll have one more round and we'll be done, even if the tower gets destroyed. Should be kind of nice if it didn't. Alright, let's see what they got. They're going to tax again. Wow. So that just gives everything up there, recycles all this stuff back around. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to have to eat it with that guy. I just realized I didn't have this mic on here for the past while. I set it down in between a shot. So the sound changed all at once. That's why. Yeah, I don't think I can really make this worthwhile. I think I'm just going to have to take this hit. I could retreat, but I don't care about 2 points. I mean, I don't care enough about that surf, I guess, at this point. And I could just recruit 2 here in a moment if I needed to. So so he goes in. He's going to attack me. We do need to draw a card for him anyways. And then he's going to kill this guy. He goes back in the supply. Yep. Okay. I got to remember he has +2 against vessels as well. Geez. Okay. Well, I'd have half of mine to bring my boat back around at this point and just attack him. But gosh, I really want to just get over onto that land and get something built. And he's not going to be attacking for a minute anyways. So so I'm just gonna sail over. So I kind of want to just wrap this up at this point. We're gonna go 1, 2, and it's got 3 on its movement, so I can dock in right here. And let's see what they do. They're going to recruit. The shaman's going to recruit. He has to recruit a warrior. So that's in with the shaman over here. All right. And then now I just want to build. I'm going to build with that surf all the way over there, and we got to count up how much movement this is. So it's be 1. It's actually only 2 away. That's crazy. Okay. I didn't even need to take that boat all the way over there. Oh well. It's there now. So we built a tower right here. I'm just going to pop this surf out just to show that he's on that land. So that'll start the end game, so we can get this wrapped up. And that didn't cost me anything to build that because it was only 2 spaces away. Okay, and we're gonna pick up the next card here to build. And the Berserker wants to build a tower, air vessel, so she can't do any of that, so she's gonna move. And she wants to go where they're at, but she can't, so she's gonna go up here and grab these 2 point tokens for her. 1, 2, okay. Now, that's the end of this round. We got one final round to go. And I keep forgetting to move this camera over, but she just ended up moving into the swamp and she got 2 tokens. Is what you heard me saying as I was looking at my own board and not showing it to you. So we're gonna gain nothing because we're full, and they're gonna get nothing else either because they're full. So I'm gonna get one more spell card, cast, select, let's see, select 4 face down exploration tokens anywhere. There's a scry, and view them. Yeah, I don't need that. It's just to let me like look at tokens if I was going for the exploration. I would like to now, what do I want to do? I kind of want to get back over there and attack him. I could just attack that tower and defeat it. Probably wouldn't be too bad. But it'd probably be better for me to actually get somebody killed. All right, so let's bring all these over. Put these back. Let's draw out what their next one is. They're going to recruit. It is 2 to put out a warrior over here, so he's beefing up. But at least he's not attacking, and he's not going to attack till the end of the game here. So it's really just like, what points can I make at this point? And it wouldn't be bad for me to go somewhere where I can conscript again, because those are worth so many points if I go in somewhere with 1 unit and then conscript everybody over to it. And now that tower's over there, I'm adjacent to everything in that region, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, I'm gonna recruit. I'm gonna go ahead and recruit my mage back again because he's worth a couple points at least. And that's gonna just cost me 3 food. And he'll pop in right here. We're gonna go and see what they do. They're gonna build. That's unfortunate because it gave them like 5 extra points. And they have to spend 6 ore. Okay. What am I gonna do? I would like to move and cast stuff if I can. But I can't do both. How bad do I want to attack? Attacking, I mean, it gives me like 1 point. I can get more points though too from actually doing like a charge or something like that. Yeah, I don't know how worthwhile it'll really be for me to attack at this point, because I feel like it's just going to be more trouble than it's really worth. If I cast, I can get a couple more points because I can cast for 3, conjure, bring a warrior out. It can go anywhere. Now I want to control plains regions because I get extra points for it if I do. I don't really know. I feel like I'm going to lose him if I put him out like over here. He's probably going to get attacked. So I'm actually just going to put him in the capital city to just defend it in case something shows up. I'll get a point for doing that. And let's see what the final action of the game is. It's to attack. Okay, I'm glad I didn't put him over there. So it wants to come over 2. It can, well, she could attack over here, but there's too much natural power over there. So she's not going to want to do that. She can't reach anywhere within 2 spaces away. So she's just going to move. She's going to go north. She's going to pick up a point. Sorry, I keep forgetting to switch that over. Yeah, like I said, she couldn't attack anybody over here, so she just moved north. She picked up an exploration token and got 1 point. All right, so we're finally at the end of the game. That was a bit of a hoss to do on the camera. I gotta get used to doing some of these longer games like this. But let's see what we get for the end of the game. Is basically like the points that you see on the board, I believe, is essentially it at that point. So the end game trigger was me exploiting. Is that what they call it at that point? If you're going you're putting all your towers everywhere. I think that's what they call it. Yeah. Yep. All the towers out. So we exploited, and then we had 1 more full round. So now we get points for all the units and vessels in the game. And you get 1 point for each completed building. The towers, capital city level, scribe spells, land and sea regions you control at the end of the game, not including the capital city or shores. And a region is control if a unit is or a structure is present in that region. So like basically like your vessels and like your ships can't get an extra point just for being docked. They have to have a unit inside of it. All right, so points for units. I ended up getting, I've got all this stuff built out here, so that's 10. And then I had like 1 warrior, 2 warriors built, I guess. Is that right? Where's my other warrior? Oh yeah, he's over there. So I had 10 and 2 warriors. And my serfs didn't give me anything. So that's 12 points. So that put me at 53. Get a point for each completed building. So I've got 5 for those. There's another 5. It's 58. And then the towers. So this one's 1, 2, 3, 4 away. So that's 4. This one over here is only 2 away, so that's another 6. And then this one's only 2 away as well, so that's 8 points for that. Okay. My capital city level gave me an extra 10 points. So that put me at 76. I get a point for each scribe spell, only had 1. And then I control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regions. So that'll put me at, gosh, I cannot count this late. Okay, 82. I get an extra 1 for every planes that I controlled. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, I forgot about this one. I could have got an extra 2 points if I would have just moved into there. Okay, I think that's got me finished. They are a little easier to count, I think. So I guess technically I wouldn't count their dragon because I've got control of it, and I don't think I get points for having their dragon. I don't think I wouldn't think I get their points, but I don't think they get their points because I have it. So they have their Warcroc, and they have 3 warriors, so that's 5. So they got 5 points for that. They're going to be pretty low at this point. They got 18 points for their capital city. So that put them at 49.57. They control, even though this guy's on the shore, it's basically these units are inside there as well. So I'm going to count that as control. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll say he's got 4 points for that. All right, I think that's all they really get points for. Oh, they had well, we were keeping track of all the points already for the tokens. So yeah, I believe that's all they've got. So that's only like what they ended with 61 to like 87. So I kind of blew it out. The last game I played, it was a lot closer. The finishing up the solo game I actually played earlier today, and yeah, it was a lot tighter of a game. This one kind of got crazy with the way that they kept doing combat against like my really strong people, and I was able to just keep like using that conscription ability, and I just was kind of racking up a ton of points right towards the end there. So again, solo gets kind of quirky. They get these little quirky things that they're doing. But it's still fun. It's a fun experience. I'd totally enjoy playing it solo. I wouldn't want to play it solo all the time. It's great to get out though when you haven't played it in a while. But I'm really looking forward to actually getting some. I haven't actually played this with anybody yet, and I'm looking forward to doing that soon. We're kind of planning to get a game of that out, Sean and I, and possibly one other person. We'll see. But anyways, this is my late night. It's super late. It's so late right now. Game of Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea. I hope you all enjoy this. I hope this was at least maybe somewhat entertaining or helpful as you're trying to kind of figure out how this game plays and how it works. But at any length, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate it. So much just having the eyeballs on these games and seeing the fun that we have with them. If you enjoy this kind of content, a couple of those free clicks on the screen really helps support out channels like mine, and I appreciate it so much when you do. But as always, do what is right for you. Until next time, take care. Have a great rest of your evening. Bye-bye.